let me throw up the recording. All right. So today, guys, we are going to be doing some more Genshin Impact, obviously. Today I am finally going to be doing, very excited, the Interlude Archon quest. I got my Genshin thing right here. The Interlude Archon quest in the 5.6 update. We did Escoffier's story quest a couple days ago when that came out. We did that on Wednesday. And there is currently the event going on. We are going to do that next Wednesday. So we did the new character. We did polls, the new character introduction. We also got Aoife. And let's check out 4.6's Archon quest. Albedo on trial for murder. Mondstadt invaded. It's been so long since we've gotten proper Mondstadt story content. Where's my, So this is happening right now. We're gonna wait until Wednesday to play this. Cause it's, you know, they do that thing every 2 days, more and more unlocks. So I think after 6 days, I'll be ready to play it. I mean, we have 2 weeks. And we're gonna get a new cool Fontanian bow, a new stage, and a bunch of junk. Paralogism. Greatness created in the moment where miracles meet life. Neither mundane knowledge nor earthly compassion could hope to reach the light. The arrogant slither forth from the darkness. Hypocrisy draped in virtue and reason. They're gnashing most of our all, brothers and mothers alike. So first things first. A very big thing, obviously, that's been going on with Genshin, I know bits and pieces of it, has been the continuing voice actor strike. So let me quickly Google Genshin 5.6 voiced characters.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Alright. So some people are voiced in this. But currently unvoiced, Traveler, Jean, Lisa, Noelle, Amber, Barbara, Sucrose, Mona, Kaya, Deluc, Rosaria, Fischl, Mika. Okay, so Klee, Diona, Albedo, but voiced are Razor, Bennett, Eula, Dahlia Oz, Alice Varka, Barbeloff. Okay, so Venti's VA had said she already recorded all the voice lines for this Archon quest, but they haven't. This has the whirling event. Okay, all but one character in the event are voiced. Charlotte is the only character not voiced in the whirling waltz. Risley, Aoife, Escoffier, Auroron, Farina, Navia, Nuvolette, and Kinich are all voiced. Cool. Yeah. Alright, so I think I'm gonna play it. So here, in this quest, in So in Whirling Waltz, all but one character are voiced. In Paralogism, 3 out of 20. So 15% are voiced. So yeah, I'm gonna switch to Japanese. Woo!
That's
a fight. That's a fight. That's a fight. I found these quests to get easier and easier. When you realize you don't even need to move, you can just spam circle. And you fly through it. Even this, like the little challenges you have to dodge. No, you don't. It takes away 1. This one I hate. And I don't love that one. This one I don't mind. This one's just take out 5 enemies, which is fairly simple. We're really close to finishing these guys. Yeah, we're really close to finishing Fremi. Thank God. And Sijuin.
星とし無事今日のい
Alright. I'll say for the sake of my crazy person timeline that of course I have, that covers every event in Genshin, that, including every story quest, main quest, Archon quest, world quest, like, to make sense of the lore, we left Natlan after doing Atikpan, Varesa, Iansan, Little One's quest, all of that. Made our way back to Fontaine. For the festival, and did Escoffier's story quest at the same time. So let's say that we did the festival and Escoffier at the same time before making our way back to Mondstadt for whatever is going on in Mondstadt.
仕事の時間ですかよく見ておくといい
今度は誰が騒いでる
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Still have to level up Cheska. I think I can actually do. I only need 7 blue and 3.
仕事
You know, let me run and do that quick. So I really like Cheska. It's the auto death.
この同点
Hey, post-war. Oh, you're one of them. Never mind.
同点についての
So that makes 5. That makes 6. Now we need, well, claws.
本と善意には
Let's get her 81. Okay. All right. It's been a hot minute since we've been back to Mondstadt proper. When was the last time we were actually in Mondstadt? It's not in the story, so it'll probably be a flagship event. Okay, let's see. 5.6 Fontaine. The Tournament in Glory and Bloom in Natlan was 5.5. The Mikawa Festival in Inazuma was 5.4. Lantern Rate was 5.3. Iktomi Spirit Seeking Scrolls was 5.2. Ode to Candy and Roses, that was Nahida's birthday, was in Sumeru and 5.0. Summertide Scales and Tales dealt with a couple Mondstadt characters in 4.8. Mutual and Security Enhanced Simulation. Menu, the Millilith. Oh, that was the big event in Leeway, though. They had characters from everything. Iridescent Arataki, Rockin' for Life Tour de Force of Awesomeness in 4.6, Inazuma. Alchemical Ascension in 4.5, where we helped Lisa with her alchemy potion business. So that was the last time we were here, actually. Helping Mika. Mika's on the cover, at least. Before that was 4.4's Lantern Rite. Roses and Muskets was the Fontanalia Film Festival. Thelxie's Fantastic Adventure was Fontaine. Waterborne Poetry was Leeway. But featured Venti. The Mega Mecha Melee was in Fontaine and featured Bennett. Secret Summer Paradise was Bottle Land, Sumeru. Okay, the last time before that we were in Mondstadt was Duel, the Summoners Summit, the TCG event, which went across all countries but started with us meeting Charlotte and Sino in Mondstadt. Before that, Parade of Providence was the Interdarshan competition in Sumeru. 3.5 Windbloom. So the last time we had Windbloom was 3.5. And that was the Sucrose Kale event. Before that was the 3.4 Lantern Rite. Before that was Akitsu Kimodameshi, which was the vision with the Weasel Man and that bouncing ball game. Fabulous Fungus Frenzy in 3.2 was Bongo Head. Before that was Weinlesefest Ballads and Brews in 3.1, which was the Razor event. It was Razor's backstory. Right? Yeah. So it was all about Razor. I guess I'd say that was the last time. Windbloom's Breath and Ballad of Bruise were the last time we were really involved with Mondstadt characters. The last time we interacted with Alice, I think, was the Summertime Odyssey, which was 2.8. Although we've seen hide in her hair and traces of her in Bottle Land and Simulanka. Peril's Trail, Hughes of Echoes. And then the last time we got, I think, big story in Mondstadt was 2.3. Shadow Amidst the Snowstorms. An event that I missed, including the Cinnabar Spindle, and had to watch on YouTube, because I was not playing for those few months. Yeah. That's wild. They should never be made, exclusive. And one of the things I hope they do in, one of the things I really hope they do in Not Cry, when they said they're streamlining the story and making story more accessible, I hope they do something with the 2 Albedo stories that were event locked. And I guess technically the, were there any other big events that were... The very first event, Unreconciled Stars, before Inazuma, we met Scaramouche in Liyue, or in Mondstadt, and that was like a Mona-focused chapter for the Unreconciled Stars. I remember doing that event. Then Chalk and the Dragon Prince, didn't do that. Midsummer Island, the archipelago, that's where we meet or converse with Alice for the very first time. I didn't do that, and I missed Dodoko Tales. Then Shadow Amidst the Snowstorm. I'd say those 3. Oh, maybe 4, sorry. Unreconciled Stars, Chalk and the Dragon Prince, Midsummer Island Adventure, and Shadows Amidst Snowstorms with the second albedo. Should be available in the base game. Maybe Summertime Odyssey. Maybe some of the Windblooms of Breath stuff. I think they should all be playable. Okay, that is where I'm going. I'm like, there's this really weird thing just sitting there. Do I want to try pulling for another Aoife? Or another weapon? Probably not. When was the last time I did this? 5, 10, 15. Yeah. No, that's not worth it. $5, 10, 15, 20, 24. I think I could pull for another one in hopes of getting another Aoife. No, never pull for a 4-star. You know the rules. Never pull for a 4-star. Back in Mondstadt, though. Which I think needs a bit of an overhaul. in terms of like map and story and stuff, so that's why I'm really excited about this. So I hope they give us some more stuff to do in Mondstadt. I'm gonna use these a good amount. Alright, let's start doing the story. 4.6, here we go. You're about to enter story mode. City's all decked out. It's beautiful. Festival season means no commissions, no Mora. But Catherine's always looking out for us. Traveler, Paimon. Kasarine! People don't all get their work done this time of year. Feel free to look around. I think you'll pick up on something unusual. Flowers. Beatrice, it's finally Windroom, and here I am ruining everything. You're tired, give it time.
でも星拾いの崖は夜になるといつも誰かが陣取ってるじゃない。
Like, we'll find a
あ
spot.
なたも知ってるで
You
し
know
ょ。
people start reserving places on Snarset's Cliff the moment the sun goes down.
とにかく
Sorry.
あれ？ベアトリーチェのやつ、珍しく元気ないみたいだな。
どこに行くんだ？家まで送ろうか。
大丈夫。クイーン。
Could not long
実は
ago,
少し前に。
どうしたんだ？
いや、やっぱりいい。なんでもないわ。
Beatrice!
ちょっと待てよ。それって。
ベアトリーチェのやつ、クイーンを見向きもせず走ってたぞ。
Mondstadt's best love friendship story is already over?
離れてた間に、あいつらの愛情を。あ、さっきキャサリンが言ってた。
Is that what you were
そ
talking
の
about?
一つと言うべきでしょう。
Beatrice has been feeling down for days, but that's not all.
栄養騎士さんとパイモンさん
Hey, Miles.
どうしたんだ？
その
A night should be stronger.
モ
I
ンドの
can't
時々
focus.
夜中に目を覚まして
I started
家の外に立っ
sleepwalking.
ていることがあります。
医者に見て。
おっしゃる通りです。病院祈祷牧師のバーバラさんのところも訪ねてみましたが
Consulted Barbara. The
やはり
conclusion was the
医者と
same.
同じ
Kind of
結
to
論
pray
で
to
した。
Barbados for me.
僕が見てはいけすみません。今は
It's because I saw something I wasn't
自
meant
分
to
で何
see.
とかします。
What was that, Meg? What did you see, my man?
まさかこの時期って。
Something in the air? Donna?
ドンナさんもどうや。あれ？確か。ええ、私もそう思っていましたが。
She changed her mind and no longer has a crush on Diluc. Instead, she has a crush
あ
on
そこに
Kaya!
騎兵隊長のガイ。おかしいわ。
Giant inversion.
今思えば。
He's exactly my type. How come I never felt this way before?
どうしてこれまで全く何も感じなかったの？
そう言ってもらえて嬉しい限りだ。
I'm
ただ
flattered,
それ
Miss
が俺に
Donna.
ごめんなさい。私ったら。
もちろん可愛いお嬢さん。でもディ
I
ル
was
ック
in the
に興味
impression
がなくなっ
Master
た理
Diluc
由
was
を
the object of your affections.
よくそんなことまでご存知なのですね。
When Diluc came to the city, when I saw him, it was like butterflies weren't there
あれ
anymore.
はまさに好きでもない男性ととにかく 先ほどのガイ
ああ、わかったよ。
I'm flattered I was able to
お
bring
前
back the
さんに多
butterflies.
少な
アガイアのやつこっちに来たぞ。ヒヒ。オイ
Surprised
ラ
to
たち
see
のことに
us?
気づいてたみたいだな。
気づいてたというのは違うな。俺は花からお前たちを探しに来てたんだ。
How are the rest of the
それに
knights?
ついては、
ええ、もちろんです。オイラたちに用事でもあるのか。
お前たちがモンドに戻ってきたと聞い
She sent me to
て
find you when
ジ
she
ンに
heard you were
迎え
back in
に行くよう
Mondstadt.
言われたんだ。
Archon Quest, Interlude Chapter, Act 4, Paralogism. Paralogism? It's paralogic. But it comes from logos. It comes from paralogos, but... Hang on 1 second. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Paralogism. Paralogism. It doesn't sound
方
like a
向
real
を見
word.
失った時は高いところに行く。
よっ。
Glory, you. Not even Glory's around.
ついていきます。
The Fatui aren't there, right? Usually the two. Right, there's two Fatus right here usually. Hmm.
風が立つぞ。
Oh no, yeah, yeah. There's one blocking off this door usually.
飛ぶか。
I still don't think anything's ever come from the fact that the Fatui are stationed all over Mondstadt. Nothing's still really come from that.
Gaia.
Eula! Hey, girl!
ああ、二人を連れてきたぜ。
よかった。
So reconnaissance captain and cavalry
君たちがい
captain.
てくれたら助かる。騎士団本部にこんなに人が
Headquarters
い
are
るなん
packed.
て。
What's going
栄
on?
誉騎士にパイモンお目にかかれて光栄だ。
I believe introductions
第
are in
二小
order.
隊隊長のノ
I'm
ッ
Note.
ト、第三小隊隊長のスカーロング、第四小隊隊長のエウルア、それと俺、第九小隊隊長のダイヤだ。
So Slickback is Note, captain of the 2nd company. Skirun, captain of the 3rd company. Eula, captain of the 4th company, which is reconnaissance. And Kaya, captain of the cavalry company, even though we've never seen a horse in this game, the 9th company. It's a long title. Captain of the cavalry company, even though we've never seen a horse in this game, 9th company. Got it.
全員隊長。
はい。ジン団長
So
が
Gina's
中で
waiting
あ
for
な
you.
た
She'll
と
explain everything.
ジン団長。
I wonder if we'll get to find out what all the companies do.
旅人パイモンわざわざ来てもらって
Is
すまない
everything alright? There's tons of people outside.
彼ら
That
は
would be
み
the
んな隊
captains.
長
You
た
know a
ち
few
だ
already, but there's some new
君た
faces.
近頃モン
There
ド
have
城
been a
でち
number
ょっ
of
としたトラブルがあって
incidents.
なその対
I
処の
had
ために
gathered
招集
all
を
the
かけた
captain of the Knights of Favonius
これから私は騎士団の各隊長たちと裁判に出る
to hold a trial. Alright. Here's what we know. So there's the investigation squad, which isn't numbered. The first squad head by Note. Third, head by Skirin. Fourth, reconnaissance, headed by Eula, which also features Mika. We don't know 5. 6 is logistics, run by Hertha, who's the woman in Mondstadt who does Mondstadt's bounty and reputation quests. They do resource management, record keeping. They help look for potential missions. 7th is the Combined Arms Company, a temporary designation, ranged and melee firepower. According to Phonia, the company is headed by Frederica Gunhilder, which is Jean and Barbara's mother. And they're currently defending Dorman Port. 8th Company is the Magic Company. Its field commander is Nymph, and its only other known member is Lisa, who turned down the role of captain. 9th Cavalry, even though we've never seen a horse, led by Kaya, and once held by Diluc. And then there are the Outriders, which is just Amber, who go around into the outside, and they're like a scout, like a lone scout. So the only company we don't know anything about is the 5th Company. And the 1st Company, I guess. But I'm assuming, like, 1st Company is Varka? A trial, but it's Mondstadt, not Fontaine.
ここは間違いなくモンドだ。けど、
We haven't
そ
had
の
a
反
trial
応
in some
モンドで
time.
は治安に関する事件の大部分をセピロス騎士団が審理する。
Majority of our
だが
cases are tried
一
jointly
部
with
の
the
重大
church.
事件バルバトス様が見届ける中、セピロス騎士団は
The Knights
正義
uphold
と騎士道精神を
chivalric
貫き、
justice.
セピロス教会
In
は
spirit of
福
order,
音
the
と
church
工
carries
事を、
blessings and
か
goodwill.
そして今回の事件は
Today's case requires a joint
か
trial.
なり深刻そうだな。
The group of people we saw, there was someone missing.
あ、
Where's
そうい
Albedo?
えば
Captain of
そ
the
うだな。
investigation team.
鋭いな。そう。だからこ
That's why I
そ
called you
私たちは今回の
In the
裁判の
upcoming
真相
trial
を究明
against
し、
Captain Albedo,
セピロス騎
we
士
will
団
do our
調査
utmost
小
to
隊
understand
隊
the
長のアルベ
facts.
ドに
アルベ
Albedo's on trial?
ジン、そろそろ時間だ。
分かった。旅人パイモン、ついてきてくれ。
Oh, we get a scene? The Sucrose.
どこか席
Oh,
を見つけて
Beatrice
座って
and
くれ。
Hertha are there too.
私は向こうに行く。
So wherever you're like, I
何があっ
ask
てもどうか
that you
冷静で
remain
いてほ
calm no
しい。
matter what you hear.
あまり心配しなくて大丈夫だ。必ず公正な裁判にしよう。
Okay.
人は揃ったようだな。
Now that everyone is gathered,
では、
let us begin.
早速始める。セピロス騎士団団長ファルカがモンドを離れている
With
ため、
Grandmaster away, I,
本
Jean
裁判は
Gunhilder, will
代理
oversee
で
today's
私、
proceedings.
ジン・グンヒルドが執り行う。また、裁判員はセピロス
Mr.
教会の
Dahlia,
主催
Deacon of
ダ
the
リア氏
Church
が
of
担当する。
Favonius, will
我
serve
々
as
二人が
assessor.
それぞれ
As
セピロス騎士団と
representatives
セ
of
ピ
our
ロス教会を
respectable
代表して
organizations, we will
公
ensure
正な
a
判決を
just
下そう
verdict in this case. Oh, Rosario's up there. So he's Barbara and Rosario's boss, essentially. Because they're both
見たことない人だな。
the deacon of the church.
セピロス教
Do
会
you
っ
want to
て
see
こ
Barbara
と
and
は。
Rosario?
本件の被告人セピロス騎士団
The
調査
defendant,
小隊隊長
Captain of the
アルベド
investigation team, Albedo. Again, the Prima Gem mark, the star, the mark of Conria. Albedo, what did you do?
この事件は一部機密性の高い事項が含まれる。
Certain
なおか
aspects
つ
of the case are
被害者が
classified
モンドのものであるか
and
は
it
確認
remains
が取れてい
uncertain
ない。
whether the alleged victims
そのため
are
本
citizens of
裁判は
Mondstadt.
非公開に
As
て
such,
行
this
うことと
trial
す
is
る。
not open to the public. Identities of the victims are
仮に
still unknown.
犯行の事
If
実が
guilt
認め
is
られた場合
established in this case, all
最
facts
終
will
判
be
決
made
を下した
public
後に
after the
公
final
表するも
verdict
の
is
とす。
delivered.
続いては後方勤務隊長のヘルターによる 冒頭陳述
Justice
に
Captain Miss Hertha will present charges.
被告
The
人
court
アルベド
appoints
の
Mr.
弁護
Kaya
人
to
は
speak on Albedo's
ガイ
behalf.
準備は整っ
始めましょう。
それではヘルタ
Miss Hertha, the floor is yours.
本裁判に先立ち、教会
Prior
と
to
騎
this
士団は
trial, the
一連の
Knights,
調
in
査を行って
conjunction
い
with
ま
the
す。
church, launched an investigation
結
into
果
Albedo
アルベ
for
ドさんが人を
suspected
殺害
murder
し
and
そ
unlawful
の死体を遺棄
disposal
し
of
た証
human
拠をつかみまし
remains.
た。
Dark.
殺人事件
ある証言によると、
A witness
11
stated
日前の
11
深
days
夜
ago, in the
被
middle of
告
the
人
night,
がモンド城の正門から南東に行ったところで
she saw the
何か
defendant
大きな物体
southeast
を
of
引
the
きずってい
gates,
た姿
dragging
が
an
目
object
撃さ
she
れていま
identified as
す
a。human body.
その後の
嘘だろそんなわけ
証人ベアトリーチェさん、
We call a
あなた
witness
が
to
見
the
たもの
stand.
を話してくだ
Beatrice,
さい。
please tell us what you saw. Well, that explains why Beatrice is so freaked out and just in a fugue state. So this is what she was trying to tell
あ
Quinn
の日の
earlier.
夜私は
I
用事
was
で
out late
外
on
に出て
business
行
when I
っ
came back. I
て
saw
帰りが
someone in the
遅くなった
moonlight
の
that looked like Mr. Albedo.
帰り道
He was dragging a huge
おか
bag.
しいと思って
I thought it was
こっ
strange,
そ
so I
り
followed
後を
him.
つけてみたの
A flash of golden
そ
light,
した
the
ら
bag
急に
opened,
金
and
色に
inside there
光り
was
出
a
して
body.
袋を開けるのが見えたわそこにはアルベドさんは元素を扱えるから
He
地面を掘
manipulated
る
the
のも簡
ground
単
with
なんだと思う
ease. He buried it and removed
死
any
体を埋め
traces from the
て
ground.
しかも気のせいかアルベドさんがその場を
He
立ち
looked
去
in
る
my
直
direction.
前
Maybe it was my
一
imagination.
瞬こっちを見
I
た
was
気がしたの
terrified, thinking he would kill me too.
その時は自分も死ぬんじゃないかって怖くて怖くてけど幸い
被告人アルベド
I now to the
11日前
defendant. Describe your whereabouts that
騎
night.
士団2階の自分の執務室で仕事をしていた
Working in my office, second floor of the Favonius headquarters.
10日前、被告人は騎士団に雪山地域の環境調査に関する最新
That's
の
right.
報
The
告
next day, the
書を提
defendant
出
submitted
して
his
いる。
latest environmental
そ
report
の
on the
文字数から
Dragonspine
見て
region.
も、前
Considering
日
the
まで
length of
か
the
なり
text,
の
it
時
must
間
have
を
taken a
費やして
considerable
いた
amount of
と
time
み
to
られる。
finish.
被告人がその夜執務室で書類を作成していた
Anyone
ことを
attest to
証
the fact
明
that he was working?
いないな。
でしたら報
The
告書
length
の
of
文
the
字数
report is
を
not a
被告
sufficient
人
alibi.
雲行きが怪しいですね
Do you have a body? Did you find a body?
仮に被告人が犯行
If
に
the
及
crime
ん
did
だ
occur as you
後、
described,
殺
then
害し
what
た
about
相
the
手を
body?
遺棄した
You
のであれ
mentioned the
ば、
joint
その
investigation
現
was the
場
body
には
recovered.
いいえ
つまり、ベ
In
ア
other
ト
words,
リ
you
ーチェ
dug
さ
up
ん
the
が言った
location
場
Miss
所を
Beatrice
掘った
described and
が
found
死体は
nothing.
見つからなかったと。
でも確かに見たの本当よヘルターさん私が言ったのは全て事
I
実
swear.
なの
Also, didn't you say that
私
speaking out
が
would
証
help
言したら
protect the people of
今度の
Mondstadt?
みんなの安全を守れるっ
Otherwise,
て
I'd
言っ
never
てた
put
じゃない
myself out there.
合同調査チーム
This
も
investigation
何
was
も成果が
fruitless.
な
A
かったわ
single
けではあり
men's
ません
shoe
事件
and a
現場の
torn
近
piece
く
of
の
fabric
茂
were
み
found
に
in the bushes
小
near
さ
the
な
crime
布
scene.
もし犯罪が行われていなかったとしたら
The same location.
どうして
If
目
no
撃
crime
現場の
occurred,
近
then
く
is
に
it all
そういえ
coincidence?
ば、被害者の身
So there's
元
no
はまだ
proof,
判明して
no
いない
body,
んだ。
no crime, no body, no crime. No body, no crime.
それもおかしな点の一つです
No one is reported missing.
今回の件に通
Miss
報者は
Beatrice
いま
harbors
せん
no
が
ill will towards the
ベアトリー
defendant.
チェさん
Her
は
testimony
被
clearly
告人
points
に
to a
何の
crime.
恨み
She
も
has
被
no
告
reason to
人
lie.
これに対
ヘルターさん
You may
君
believe
が
anyone,
信じる
but
か
I
否
did
か
not
に
kill a
関わ
single
らず
person.
セピロス騎士団の
As a
調
knight
査
and
小隊
captain, I
隊
have a
長と
duty
し
to
て
protect Mondstadt and its people.
僕
You
の
accuse
責
me
務
of
は
murder, but there's
モ
no
ンドと
body
住
or
民の
motive.
皆を守ること
No
もし
victim, no
僕が
body,
人
no
を
motive.
殺した
確かに被告人の言う通り動機は非常に重要ですしかし
The
率
defendant
直に言
raises
わ
an
せても
important
らい
point,
ますと
motive. Yet I
世の
must be
中には
frank,
計
not all
画的
murders
な
are
犯行のみ
premeditated.
ならず予期
Spontaneous
せぬ衝
conflicts
突もあるも
can
の
have unforeseen consequences. It was a crime of passion. That is a huge leap in logic, Hertha.
私たちも
Nevertheless, I
布切れ
don't
一
intend to
枚と
prosecute
靴
this
一
case
つだ
on
けで
circumstantial
こ
evidence
こに立
alone.
ってあなたの罪
Which
を問
brings
う
me
なんて
to the
ことは
second
しない
charge.
あ
7日前の未明ドラゴンスパインと暁ワイナリーの中間地
7
点
days
で
ago at dawn, a
被告人
witness saw the
が
defendant
成人男
dispose
性
of
の
the
死体
body
を
of an
処理
adult
している
male
と
in
こ
the
ろを
area
目撃
between
した人がい
Dragon
ました
Spine and Dawn Winery.
では2人目の証人
I'm
を
guessing this is
ディルク・ラグビンドさん
Didn't see that
お
coming.
前が見たものを話してくれ。
深夜3時
At
40分
3:40 in the morning, I saw Bader dispose of the body beneath a
崖の
cliff.
下で死体を処
It
理
was
している
dark.
のを
He
見
used the power of Geo to illuminate his
空は暗かった
surroundings.
が岩元素の力で辺り僕が見た様子か
From
ら
what
考
I could
え
tell,
る
it looked like the body of an adult
に被
male.
害者は成人
Tall,
男性
thin, couldn't make out the
身
age.
長は高く
二人は口裏を合わ
We
せ
now
る
have
ことな
accounts
く
two separate witnesses
見た
describe
まま
the
を
same
証言
modus
しています。
operandi.
なんで深夜にドラゴンスパイン
I don't know,
と
Mr. Luke was
暁
doing the
ワイ
area
ナ
so
リ
early in the
の
morning.
間にいたんだ。
ちょっと外を歩くのに
So one winery is
時
my
間を
home.
選ぶ必要はないだろ
Unusual for me to take
う
walks.
そうでなければ
モンドでも名高いディルックの旦那のことだ。
No, ser-
確か
no
にア
reason
ルベ
to
ド
rip
を
the
陥
frame
れ
is
る
dropping.
理
The
由
question
はない
remains. Where are the bodies?
証拠が足りないと言いたいのかもしれませんが、残念でしたね。今回は被告
それは
おそらく人間の
Teeth
歯
and
と
the
大
femur of a
腿骨
human. If the
どうして
burial was
死体を埋めて
fresh,
すぐ掘
why
り
is
返
this
した
all
と
that
いうの
remains
に
of the body?
これしか見つからなかった
やれやれ。何か
I
含み
do
のあ
hear
る
a
言い
presumption of
方
guilt
だ。
in
歯
there.
と骨。それ
These
は
are
死体がすで
remains
に
to just
腐敗し、
accelerated rate of
骨しか残っ
decomposition.
ていなかったことを意味します。
Considering
被
the
告人が
defendant's
優秀な
profession,
錬
there's
金
reason to
術師である
suspect
ことを
that
考
alchemy
える
is
と、
at
金
play.
色の元素の光は
Both
おそらく
witnesses
錬
saw
金術
golden
によるもの
light,
でしょう。
a known
その
byproduct
光
of
で被告
alchemy.
人は死体を処理
That's
しま
how
し
the
たが、
defendant destroyed the
同時に
bodies.
闇の中で目撃
The
者
light
が
also
真実
explains
を見
how the
届けるた
witnesses
めの
were
明
able
か
to
り
get a
となっ
clear view of the
た。
events in the dark.
なるほど錬金術
確かに筋は通ってい
A
る
logical
な。
assessment.
だがこち
The
らにも
afternoon
証人
burial.
はいる。
The afternoon before the alleged second murder, Albedo had a lengthy and
アルベド
intellectual
は
exchange with the
そ
student
の学
Sucrose.
生のスク
The
ロー
two were
ス
in
と
the
図書
library
館で
until
長
the
時
next
なぜそ
morning.
んなに長時間の議
その日はスクロースの課題の提
Sucrose
出
was
日だったん
presenting her
だ。
results.
ス
Noticed
ク
some
ロースは
flaws in the
細かい
data
デー
and
タと
insisted
にら
on
めっ
reviewing
こ
her
していて
calculations until the next
翌
morning
日
with
まで
Albedo
本当
present.
だよ。私ずっと図書館にいたからアルベド先生のアリバイ。
スクロースさんが図書館に。
そ
And I
れ
know
が
he'd never kill
私は
someone.
でも、証人だって理
Other
由もなく
witnesses have no reason to
彼の
lie.
犯行を証言しないでしょう。ぜひとも正直にお答えいただきたい。
あ大丈夫だ僕
During
が
our
言う
meeting,
よ
she did fall asleep
何
not
か
long
を
after
証明する
midnight.
ためにあえて嘘をつく
This
必
is
要
a
はない
sacred place of judgment.
ア
Truth is
ルベド
paramount.
先
それなら被告
あそれと
Claiming innocence
そこで
without proof is enough.
こちらからも質
The
問させてほ
prosecution's
しい
argument has its own holes.
まだそ
No
ちら
mention
側
of a
にも解
motive
決で
or
きて
the
いない
exact
問題
method
が
that
あ
could
ったは
reduce
ず
the
だ
human
決定
body.
的な物証はないけど二人の目撃者の証言も偶然では片付けられ。
少々お待ちを。こちら調査チームによって
あれは
A
あの手
correspondence.
紙
人体研究という課題を諦めたことは一度
I
も
have
ない。
never abandoned the subject of
というより、
human research.
ドラゴ
In
ンスパイ
fact,
ンの奥に踏
delving
み入った
deeper
こと
into
で
Dragon Spine has
生
led me
命
to
とい
realize
う
the
言葉
concept
の
of
解
life
釈はさらに
could
進
be
み、
further
今や
expanded
それは
and transformed
誕
into
生
that
に
of
変わっ
birth.
た人の誕生の秘密
The
は
mystery of human
往
birth
々
is
にして
often
死
linked
と
to death.
結び
As
つい
such,
てい
death
る。
is the most suitable
そして
material
死
for the
は
creation of
神
new
聖に
life.
最も適した素
We
材だ
must
ろ
engage in
そ
the
のために
process
は
of putrefaction
腐
and
敗
腐
refinement.
敗せ
その手紙に書いてあるのは錬金
And
術
alchemical
手紙の最後に
process.
はこんな言葉もあります。
Experimental trials have been carried out in the northwestern part of
検証開始。
Dragonspine, the southeast of
ドラゴン
Mondstadt's
スパイ
main
ンの
gate.
君が試みたように
Just as you
僕も
endeavor to
創造の
do,
道を
I
貫
too
き
shall take up the path of
枷を破
creation
り
and break down the current
生物
limitations
の新たな
to
領
reach
域
the
へ
new
と
realm
踏み
of
出そう。
living beings.
その手紙の筆跡が
So he's absolutely referring to what his creator Ryan Dottir, the sinner of Conria, did with the creation of artificial life. I'm betting the things he buried were artificial remains, fake humans, not real people.
はい。手紙に書かれた場所も
Location indicated
犯
in the
行
letter
現場
matched
と
crime
完全に
scenes.
そんなどうして私はもともと
Guilty verdicts
十分な
cannot be
証拠
delivered
がない
without
限
sufficient
り
evidence.
誰かを有罪とすべきではないと思ってたんで
What
すけど
principles
ね。
demand the original
それ
assessment
こそが原
that
則
we
に基
lack
づい
said
ですが
evidence.
残る調査項目は
The
被害
identities
者
of
の
the
具体
victims and
的な身
specific
元と
alchemical
錬
process
金
used in this case.
ああ確かな証拠が揃ったため
On charge of murder and
本件は
unlawful
立証され
disposal,
た
the court finds the defendant guilty. Don't believe in that. The people in attendance are shocked. No one believed a kind, well-mannered person like Albedo could commit such a crime. Jean stipulates that those unsatisfied will have time to submit objection or appeal. Most appear hopeless. It all comes back to that letter, a secret you and Albedo know all too well, but the people of Mondstadt have yet to discover. That he's not a real person. that he was a synthetic human created through alchemy. Could that have something to do with this case? Following in Reiner Tier's footsteps just because he's an alchemical creation, that would only make him more
最
suspicious.
悪の状況のようね。開廷した
When
時
did
か
you
ら
get
ず
here?
っ
Been here the
と
whole
いたわ
time.
そう。
You were needed at Starstat's
Hoshihiro
cliff.
no
He's
gate
waiting
に
for you there. Barbatos?
着いたらわかる。
You know when you get there.
さあ
Go. Time is like
早
the
く行きな
wind.
さい。時間は待ってくれないわよ。
Another reference to both time and wind. We know Istaroth was closely related. The goddess of time was close. The shade of time was related to Mondstadt in some way. The temple of the abandoned time building was there. The current story is related to past adventures. I would love to. Oh look! Shadow amidst the snowstorms! It would be great if I actually got to play that! Seriously! If this is such a big part of the game, make it part of the freaking game! You and Paimon went to Dragonspine to ask Albedo, who was conducting research there, some questions about alchemy, only to encounter a series of strange events, strange noises echoing through the mountains that cannot be traced, ransacking of alchemical notes at the campsite. Albedo disappeared after a chat outside the cave, has no memory of the incident. At the same time, Eula encountered Albedo elsewhere on the mountain, attempting to lead a child away. He attacked Eula upon being discovered. You were able to confirm the presence of a mysterious figure impersonating Albedo. A running battle ensued, ambushed. In the end, Albedo eliminated a giant mutant wafer flower posing as him. Yet there were two people wearing that face on the mountain. Oh, and look at that cool sword he has! I wonder if we're going to be able to unlock that sword. Stupid as hell. Not a cross shout, just annoying. That genuinely annoys me. That a huge plot point was one of those story events that I mentioned. As I assumed it was going to be. Not having them continue to be playable is such an injustice to this game. Make event stories replayable. Give us an event mode. Say like, hey, you gotta download that, and I'll be like, friggin' fine. I have a couple terabyte SSD on here. I can do it.
アビスの声に身を委ねていたなら、私はとっくに私ではなくな飛ぶか。
That genuinely annoys me that it actually is important. I'm sorry, if you're gonna continue the story, then make it playable. You don't have to give us the rewards, although I would love to get Festering Desire and Cinnabar Spindle, but, like, make those quests part of this. Re-release them. Say, hey, you can now do those quests leading up to this. Hell, release them as a special story quest. Or, yeah, completed. See, we have this. I'm sorry. I'm sure you have something planned for Albedo Chapter 2. Re-release, names. First, what was the first one's name? Re-release Chalk Prince and the Dragon and Shadow Amidst the Snowstorms as his second story quest. That's all I'm saying. And you have to beat that before you can do this quest. Done. You know? I don't think that's so crazy. I don't think that's the biggest ask. You did the development, all the dialogue's in the game, you have the models, you have everything ready. Alright, hold on. The final ending cutscene.
My story. Yes, I should have known. Master's failed specimen in the dragon's belly.
The primal, the first Albedo.
Story truly begins. If we switched places, if you were the survivor, then as the abandoned experiment, the failure of the primordial human project, I'd want to
A second one?
I would replicate your appearance, study your alchemy, and create miraculous life forms to divert your attention. I would wait for the right moment, then dispose of you and the Traveler, the sole person to have known your secret. And then I could finally experience the joy of being brought into the world.
That is so important. If it's the primordial Albedo, if that's the big twist and mystery, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hey ちょっとなまってきたな。
Hey, bud. So let's see you hanging
風が
above
君たちの訪れを知らせてく
Traveler
れたよ
Paimon. I can hear your arrival on the
旅人
wind.
にパイモン僕に会いに来たのかな
金融野郎おいらたち
いや私ですよ
うわなんでこいつがここに
Venti, do you know this guy? His name is...
もう忘れちゃったんですか
Didn't think I was that
私は
unmemorable.
ダリア
I'm Dahlia,
セピロス教
Deacon
会
of
の
the
女
Church
才
and
で
Herald of the
風神
Animo
バルバトスの伝道
Archon
師です
Barbatos.
ちゃんと覚えてくださいね
So you called us here to meet with Venti?
そうですよ裁判中伝説の栄誉騎士を見て君が何と言っても
I am the Herald.
私はバルバト
If
ス
the
様
people
の
of
伝道
Mondstadt
師
in
ですから
danger, I should keep the Animo
こういう
Archon in the loop so he
神の
knows.
何のことでしょう
About what? The fact that my
酒場の
tavern
良き
hopping
友であ
friend
り街角に吹く
is a friend of Barbatos himself.
そんなし大丈夫
Don't worry, Dahlia and
ダ
I are
リアと
close.
は
He
それ
knows
なりの
everything.
中バルバトスが正式な場で意見するには誰かに代弁してもらわなきゃでしょ
A
こ
god.
ちらの
So
ベ
he
テラン
does
伝
know.
道師さんなら
Okay.
ぴったりだよね
A god needs someone to communicate their will in a formal setting, and no one does that better than
友
Dahlia.
達になったばかりの頃は
Not that I
こ
saw
んな
that
こと
coming
に
when
な
we
るなん
first
て
met.
思いもしなかったけど
I believe you two already know about Albedo's background.
君も知ってるよう
If
で
you
す
mean
ね。
his true identity, then yes.
その言い方だと
So you know too,
お
Venti?
前たちも
That's
知ってるみ
surprisingly
たいだね
Archon-like of you.
僕はレインドットとアリスさんが
I knew from the moment
アルベ
Ryan
ドをモン
Duttier
ド
and
に送った
Alice
時から
brought
そのこ
Albedo
とを
to
知ってたよ
Mondstadt. When those
そ
two
ん
are
な人
town,
物
no
が
one
訪
can
れる
afford
と
to
なれ
slack
ば
off.
白亜の申し子
The Cried
完璧な
Prince,
ホムンクルス
the Chalk Prince,
今回の
a
事件に登場する
perfect
数
specimen
々
of
の謎
synthetic
が
life.
どれもアルベ
At
ドを
this
指し
stage of the
示している
case, there are countless
アル
questions
ベドの
surrounding
正体
Albedo's
は
motive.
急所になるだ
His
ろ
true
うね
identity is a potential weakness.
ホムンクルスが暴走して理
A
性
synthetic
を
being
失
loses
い
control of their
他
sanity
者
and
を
goes on a
傷つ
killing
ける
spree.
狂気的な行
That's
動
how a
に
novel
走
would
る。
frame the story.
そういえば昔アルベドが言ってたな
Humans are
人間は
value
超越
ordinary
と
over
奇跡を渇
transcendent
望
and
する
自分
miraculous.
と違うものは皆
Slightest
いる
difference is perceived as other.
君の
Yeah.
友達を助けてあげないとね僕かいアルベドがホム
I
ンク
know
ル
what
スである
Albedo
こ
is
と
a
も
synthetic being.
最近モンド上で
A
は
lot
奇
of
妙な
strange
出来
things have
事
been
がたくさ
happening.
ん起きてる
Even
こ
the
とも
Windbloom should
知
be
って
about
いるよ
drinking and fun.
街で起きてることも知
You share your observations.
マイルズはずっと元気がないし
Miles out of sorts,
ベア
Beatrice
ト
is
リーチェも
anxious.
落ち
Didn't know
着か
about
ない
Donna.
賛美される愛は消え
When
警
no
告に
love
残るは
remains for
災
the
い
songs
の
to tell, the
核の
world
過酷な
becomes
運命
not
を
but an empty
誰が
shell.
受け入れられよ
Cruel is said
う救いの
fate.
勇士は
Cruel it
まだ
may
現れ
be.
ないのか
Were it not for the hero who could set us all free.
君たちの疑問に答えているんだよいつかは誰かが
A certain
壁を
someone
乗
is
り越
going
え
to
る
need to
方
overcome
法
a
を見
trial
つけ
like
なきゃ
that.
ならない
In such cases, even the seven
運
know
命の
better
前
than
で
to
は
tamper with fate.
七
It's
姿勢で
six
さえ
now.
はあで
If
も
only there was a brave
誰
soul
があ
willing
の
to aid
親
their
愛なる
friend in
友
his
人
time
を
of
助けら
need.
れるんだ
結局のところ
アルベドが犯
Even
人
if
かどう
Albedo
かは
wasn't at
関
the
係
center,
なしに
protecting Mondstadt is part
も
of
ん
being
で
an
も
honorary knight, right?
君を一人で働かせるつもりはないよちょっとした送り
またボンボン爆弾だぞ
安心して新刊は抜いてあるから爆発しないよ
それ今は
彼女とは長い付き合いだしちょっと借りるこの発明品と僕のちょっとした細工でお互いに連絡を取り合えるようにした必要な時は
And
それを使っ
the
て僕を
Dodo
呼んで
communication device was in the Summertime Odyssey, which I never played. Created by Alice, gifted to Venti. The fact that this is drawing so much from events is actually becoming annoying.
ありがとうこの先何があろ
No
う
matter
と
what comes, you have one. I dive into the lore. I dove into the lore. If I had not dived into the lore, I would be pissed.
私たちやけどいまだにバルバト
I've
ス
never
様の
witnessed
真
Lord
剣な
Barbatos
表情
approach
は
anything
見
in a
たこ
serious
とがない
manner. I'm in for something special.
違うんですか
Harley, it's not blind
街
faith.
の噂話と
I've
か
always
じゃ
had
なく
unwavering belief in the
本
Anima
当に
Archon.
僕も気になる
そうしましょうか
I'll tell him I still haven't
じゃあ、
deciphered his drunken
こう
musings from our
お伝えし
3
ます
trips to the
ね。
tavern last month.
ああバルバトスの
もちろん
So he's a Hydro Vision wielder. Maybe he's a Claymore user and we'll finally get a Hydro Claymore user. After years.
I know
you used to be shocked, but the evidence is solid. His situation is not looking good.
アルベドがそんなことする
Using
とは
living
思え
people
ま
as
せん
alchemical test subjects, like something out of a
私の
novel.
立場上どちらの肩も持つべきではないのは分かっているわ
I've worked with Albedo. He's an alchemist, not a sadist.
誰よりもこの結果を信じがたい
Varka once said Albedo is very different from the rest of us.
アルベドのことをまずは
アルベドに話を聞いてみ
Let's
よ
see
う。
what Albedo says for himself.
みなすまないが。
ジン団
旅人パイモン、ちょうどいいところに。
裁判が終わった後にジンが言ってただろう。
We have time to submit an
判
appeal.
決にあいつの様子が少し妙なんだ。あの表情、そうだ。今はお前たちにも動いてもらう必要。いや、
Do you want to join
お
us?
前は自由に動
We'd
いて
like
も
you
ら
to
って
launch the
構わない。
investigation.
俺は俺で
Can we
やる
just
べ
say
き
like,
ことを
hey,
続け
we
る
know Albedo's secret. He wouldn't want
も
us to
しあ
share
いつ
it.
を助けら
He's
れる
innocent.
証拠を見つけたら俺に
I
渡してく
swear
れ
it on title of Honorary Knight.
今は
And
ウィン
Barbados.
ドブルーの
Barbados
祭だ
agrees
か
with
ら
me.
君に依頼するのははばかられるが、
We
しか
owe
し
him the benefit.
アルベドは私たちは皆君のことを信頼しているし、
でも、
もし本当だったとしても、おそらくよろしく頼む。
Still want to go up to Dorman Port. Up there. Still, to this day, think we should get a Dorman Port expansion. It's time. It's time! The second floor! Not the third floor. Dive!
ガイア隊長、
この二人はジンの依頼を
These
受
are
け
here in
て
Gene's orders.
そうですか。ジン団長が許
ここがアルベドの執
Albedo's
務
office,
室か。
exactly how Paimon
二人
pictured
とも
it.
頼んだぞ。
So first floor is library, Gene's office, and Clee's room. Second floor is Albedo's office. Yeah, they're not chemical device over there.
よし、何か手がかりがないか見てみようぜ。
Stack of books relating to alchemy, environmental science, and life science. Marked with chemical symbols, others have an S shape or triangular symbols. Triangles are incredibly common in alchemy.
錬金術師の本。
A lockbox sits on the desk. A latch bears signs of wear, suggesting importance. Box remains locked most of the time. Now the lid remains open, as if the owner was forced to leave in a hurry. The letter intercepted by the investigators was once stored here. Elegant penmanship leads. In addition, I happen to have some information on the subject of our last discussion. The materials and arcane formation required for human transmutation. Formation originate from Conrian art of Chemia, but the relevant documentation has not been well maintained over time, so I cannot get a... Does not mean I support your pursuit of the research. Ethics aside, I'm not convinced it's even possible to create human whose existence is identical to our own. The idea that the dynamic of creator and creation could exist within the same space... Is he maybe working with the other Albedo? I must urge you to proceed with caution. Oh. There you go. Paimon doesn't really think about it. Doesn't look good. Technically, that's too dangerous to share with the public. Hey, I'm trying to artificially create people. Test tube with some black powder residue at the bottom. Next to it lies a neatly written note. Chalk, the stage of life after soil. But the currently available material is insufficient. Obito's notes, they resemble the ones you've seen before, but the contents are different. Always the penmanship is impeccable. Putrefaction should be regarded as a counter-simulation to the process of life, like a highly efficient and destructive spell of rot. Upon use, the target will decay within an extremely short period of time, turning into dust that is nearly invisible to the naked eye. Hidden compartment under the desk. Involve elemental power. Some might try using the power of Geo. Inside lies a piece of paper within the more information. Festering is a manifestation of rot. When festering, again, festering desire, that weapon I would love to have. From the Chalk Prince of the Dragon. When festering forces with a sufficient amount of life energy collide, the two will repel each other, triggering a powerful side effect. When I tested this in an alchemical experiment, the result of refinement was startling. Breaking through the shackles of life, the simulation of the Blank Project, I must take advantage of this opportunity. Festering forces, which suggests that Dragonspine could be involved. Map, 2 locations. The third appears to be Dragonspine. There. That lake. There. And there. That's by the Dawn Winery, north of Dragonspine. Nah, I ain't no rat. Dodoko. How's the investigation going? Find anything? Stuff that makes Ameda look suspicious. We should be grateful Abeda's identity remains hidden. If it gets out, he's one of Ryan Daltier's creations. There'd be no separating him from her past. As one of the 5 people responsible for the destruction of Conria! Ryan Daltier's approach to alchemy and ethics was pure madness. I don't think I had anything. Yep. Remaining objective has its own value.
Ah, すみません。ドアの向こうから。オイラたちは。そうでしたか。ちょっと待った。じゃあ聞かなかったこと。ええ。
Miles, what the shit?
時に見つけたあの地図。やっぱ気になるよな。その場所に行ってみようぜ。
Well, that all gets out now. Isn't Miles usually in here guarding the library? Hell's It's not there, and I can't go to the other area. Can't even look at Lisa's books. That's weird. I mean, we were talking all that stuff with the door wide open and a one person standing directly outside the door. I'm gonna go to these two first. Shut up, Dr. Edith.
風が立つぞ。飛ぶか。今だ。
It's got a good view of Dragon Spine. It's got a good view of Vanessa's tree. Or sorry, Vanessa's tree.
風が立つぞ。
I'm not seeing anything particularly special about the area.
「あんたに従おう」I have a couple Star Silver spots to mine. You can see them all marked. Haven't mined Star Silver in a good hot minute. And the teeth are all marked right here. The dragon teeth. Everything is covered in snow. As a seasoned adventurer, you notice a spot on the ground that looks different. You remove the snow and find a sizable hole underneath, large enough to fit a human body, but the hole's completely empty. Something was dug up. Did an animal do this or a monster? The prosecution's argument they obeyed used alchemy to destroy the body, but this hole is different. If one person did this, why to remove the traces like the others? I had Dia there because I remember I can use Dia to deal with the effects of the mount on. You're back. Did you find anything? None of it helps Albedo's case.
そうか、わかった。いずれにせよ。ああ、それに私も事件に残された謎を明らかに遺体を埋めたとされる場所に残っていた歯と骨はすでに検査に持っていった。どう
したんだ？
もし死者が
If the victims turned out to be Mondstadt citizens, the situation will become more serious, and the second trial will have to be open to the public.
そんな。
第2審は2日後に開廷する。その。
お、わかったぞ。
ああ、気を使わせてすま
I'll
ない。
carry on my duty to the best of my ability.
Miles.
What the shit's going on with Miles? Can we execute Miles?
第2審は
Who's been sleepwalking and waking up in random places? Alright, give me a second. Meet up with Jean. It's time for the second trial.
合流して第2審を見届けよう。クレイと一緒にお魚をドカーンしに行く？バレたら1日反省室に閉じ込められるけど、お魚は美味しいからやりがいあるよ。爆弾持ちすぎたのかな。
Covered in stuff now.
今日ね、クレイ変わった模様のトカゲを捕まえたんだ。見たことない模様だから見てみる
？On my shaker.
爆弾持ちすぎたのかな。場内爆破は反省室。怪我人いるところに陣団長あり。山火事は一巻の終わり。これはクレイの騎士団で生きるための心得だよ。爆弾持ちすぎたのかな。
Okay. So. Oh. Back to special story mode. Hey, Miles has been listening
来て
in.
くれたか。2人とも準備ができたなら出発しよう。ああ。
Alright, follow me. Trial number 2, baby. Where's Klee during all this? My question.
今回の裁判は被告人アルベドによる殺人および死体遺棄事件の第2審だ。前回に引き続き ジン・グンヒルドが代わりに進行。裁判の人員は変わらず、セピロス教会の女裁だ検察代表ヘルタ、弁護人ガイア、本件の被告人はセピロス騎士団調査。ヘルタ、合同調査チームに対し、証人が目撃現場から持ち帰った歯と骨を検査すべく、
Found at the scene of the church's medical office, they were conclude that they are in fact human remains.
調査チームがモンドの人々の状況を調べたところ、何人かが
They were able to identify several Mondstadt citizens who have been missing for quite some time.
死者の年齢や性別などを特定できます。
Allowed us to pinpoint the age and gender of the deceased.
最近行方不明となったモンド人の中に、まさにその医務部門は多忙なため、検査結果は セピロス教会のロサリアさんが届けてくれました。
被害者の名前は
ハンスマン、male 46 years old, marital status single, occupation hunter. Consistent with the conclusion of the last trial, his disappearance went unreported.
通報する人も、それに医務部門の診療記録による。
Medical records show he sustained a mechanism-related injury to his leg 3 years ago.
大腿骨を怪我しているようね。よって、アルベドさんが埋めた死体の一つは ハンスマンで間違いない。
その技術が錬金術である。
そうね。
証人の発言に感謝いたします。
これで少なくとも一人の身元が判明しましたね。
Suspected, not confirmed.
被告人の手紙の内容を踏まえると、
The defendant needed subjects for
配偶者
alchemy
もいない人を選ん
experiments.
で、錬金術研究のためにモン
He
ドの住
sacrificed
民
the
に手
people
を
of
か
Mondstadt
け
for
る
his
と
own
は。
gain.
それと、証人はもう一人います。
Another witness has
ロン
agreed
ナ
to
さん、
testify.
こちら
Miss
へ。
Donna.
まずい。
今
But
更
the
出
night
てきてごめんな
Master
さ
Jiluk
い。
saw Mr. Vadel, I was there too.
あの日、友達とキャンプに行ってて。
Camping with a friend decided to stop near Dragon's Spine. Couldn't get comfortable, so around dawn, I
全
went
然
for a walk.
私、ディルック様とちょっとでもお話できないかなと、すごく怖かった。その人に見つかったらどうしようって彼と話をしよう
I
とし
wanted
な
to
けれ
talk
ば
to him. I never would have been in that
その恐怖
situation.
のせいでこれまで証人として
なるほど。
ドンナさん。
法廷を代表して。
はい
二人の証言もあるし間違いありませんね。
私はやはり手紙に書かれていた錬金術
The
と関係が
defendant
あ
is
る
the
と
most
思います。
accomplished alchemist in
そ
Mondstadt.
の
He has
点に
skill.
ついて、とある特別調査員が関連情報を掴んでくれた。
もしかして
The evidence we
これらは
found.
被告人のアルベドが使っていた騎士団2階の執務室から見つかったものだ。その中でもこの地図は被告人の
Map
メモ
was
と
found
一
with the
緒に見つか
defendant's
った。
notes. The markings correspond
地
with
図に
the
ある
description
印
of
の
the
位置。
こ
letter.
の地図はお前のものなのか。
あ
この印も
そうだ。
それを認めることで、お前による犯行であることがより。
やめて。
僕のデスクの隠しスペー
Since
ス
you
まで
uncovered
開
that
けられたん
compartment,
だ。
I might as well
こ
expound.
こまで証拠が揃っているのに、
前にも言ったと思うけど、
What I always have, I
もう一度
never
言おう。
killed a single person.
まだそんなセリフがいい。
ヘルターさん、
Miss Hertha, you
客観
presented
的
a
に見れば
meticulous and convincing case. I'll
君
give
の
you
推理
that.
は緻密
But I will
で
not admit to
説
something
得
I
力
didn't
もある。
do.
言い訳をやめる気はないと。
無実の者が身の
That's
潔
a
白
rather
を証明
dismissive
す
way
るた
to
めに
refer to an innocent
あ
man
らゆ
speaking
る
in
手
his
段
own
を尽くす
defense.
のは言い訳と言えない。
I'm exercising
どれだけ待っ
patience.
ても。
いや、待つことも
Patience comes with its own
ある種の
reward.
手段
It's
だと
easy for
僕
things
は
to
信
remain
じたい。
buried in snow until someone comes along and brushes it away. It must have to do with something at Dragonspine.
このメモを見つけたのは君だね。
Traveler, you're the one who
旅
uncovered the
人
notes. I'm assuming you visited the third
地図にあ
location.
る3つ目の印の地点にも
I did.
その場所の様子を教えてもらえるか。
You nod your head. And to give an account, whatever was kept in that hole was gone. The surrounding area bore the markings of an unknown creature, with everything covered in snow. No one knew there was something there to discover in the
その
first
説明を
place.
聞いた感じ。
一つ目の印はモン
The
ド城の
first
近く
location
に
is near Mondstadt.
ベア
Beatrice
トリ
saw
ーチは
Beto use
アル
alchemy
ベ
to
ド
dig a
が
hole
錬
and
金
bury a
術を
body
使っ
there.
近くの茂みには
A single man's
片
shoe
方
and a
だ
torn
け
piece
の
of fabric
靴と
were in the bushes
小さな布
nearby.
切れこれらの手二つ目の印は
The second
ドラゴン
location
スパインと
between Dragonspine and
暁
Wine
ワイナリ
Ranger
ーの
Luke
中
saw
間
him.
地点にある
not even adult male. Same events as Beatrice. No reason for them to collude against Albedo. Teeth and a femur. Donor confirmed his version. She should have no reason to set Albedo up despite her crush. According to the remain, femur and teeth belong to a Mondstadt citizen. Did Albedo use alchemy to reduce the bones? The third location in Dragonspine. How about I discovered a hole buried beneath the snow big enough to hide a human body? There. That's what I was trying to do, yeah. The difference between the marked locations. Albedo marked these 3 locations on a map found in a hidden compartment. There are similarities with differences. Based on what we know, all 3 locations were used to hide bodies, but the holes hugging each area seemed big enough. Unlike the first 2, there were claw marks around the hole in the third. No witnesses saw anything happen there. Dragonspine's home to a matter of monsters and animals. The marks didn't look fresh, which means the hole's been there for much longer than the other 2. Albedo's identity. Most people don't know he's an alchemist, or most people know him as an alchemist, but in truth he's the Crag Prince, a synthetic human created by one of the 5 sinners, Goldrindottir. Steadfast, intelligent, and treats everyone with kindness and respect. Calculated thinker. Frigid climate covered in snow all year round. Various monsters and creatures. Deep within the mountain lies the remains of an even more mysterious creature, Durin. Although the dragon has been dead for a long time, he still possesses life energy. Festering. Forgot, Paimon and I once encountered someone on Dragonspine who looked exactly like Albedo. We weren't the only ones. Someone who looks exactly like him. Guessing Albedo has a plan. What does he want me to do? Announce a break in the case? Since I made an honest assessment, I should be honest about my doubts too. I'd like to address the... Yeah! See, I would love to hear this in English. I'd love to hear Sarah, but... I was the one who investigated, and I believe the results raise a few questions. Regarding the 2 cases addressed in the previous trial, the defendant used alchemy to restore the ground to its original state. But that wasn't the case at the 3rd location. The hole was still there, dirt scattered around the perimeter. It looked more like something had been dug up. If it was done by one person, why wasn't the 3rd scene given the same treatment as the others? Why weren't the traces removed? In addition, they weren't fresh, which suggests the Dragonspine incident happened at a different time. Alright, calling it. Albedo killed and buried the 2nd Albedo, who dug himself up and is still imitating Albedo, doing murders in the same manner. He was revived by the dragon's life energy, by Durin's energy. There's still reasonable doubt. Questions may be. Let me point out. There's no evidence to suggest that anyone besides the defendant knew about the 3rd location. That fact alone makes him the most plausible. Eula was there. Eula was attacked. If all I cared about was proving my innocence, I would indeed do as you described and deny connection with the map. The map below, and I did hide things at those 3 locations. There were indeed bodies at each location, and I did kill and bury someone at Dragonspine. No, you're mistaken. The story doesn't end there. I killed myself. Some time ago, I encountered an uninvited guest on Dragonspine, someone who wanted to take advantage of the deserted nature and eliminate me in secret. His desire to kill me led to an altercation where I killed him and buried the body on the mountain. The third location marked on the map. Actually, Lumine, Amber Bennett, and I were with Albedo that day. The Adventurers Guild was holding an event on Dragonspine. After it ended, we all left the area. The person referring to the one we encountered on the mountain, the altercation must have happened after we left. These innocent people. Shut up, Hertha! You deny it. Would you shut up and let me finish? The man who attacked me on Dragonspine was my height. Blonde hair, blue eyes, clothes nearly identical to mine. I was right, it does come back to what happened then. I killed someone that day. Someone who looked nearly identical to me. I never said that someone was a person. It appears I need to withdraw my testimony. Isn't that Hertha? Real Hertha? As you can see, this is Hertha, logistics captain of the Knights of Favonius. You want me to undermine my credibility? I've been stationed there all these years because that's where the subject of my research lies. The dragon Durin. Several hundred years ago, the dragon of the east evolved and defeated Durin in a battle. With the help from Barbados, sealed his remains on Dragonspine. Durin was created through alchemy, one of the finest specimens of artificial life. As such, death is not the end for him. His heart still beats and grows more revitalized by the day. Durin's coming back! My imposter was a failed specimen in Durin's stomach. An unsuccessful iteration of the homunculus project. Artificial humans. So... I did kill someone and bury them there. Trying to consider I'm some kind of homunculus. Because it looks to me like the artificial one is standing right there. So that's what I look like when I fly up the handle. I could easily accuse the Albedo in this room of being an imposter. How about something on the real Hertha know, the longest star in my body? I'd like to hear Miles answer first. You've been acting strange these days, disoriented, confused.
そのせいで忘れてしまったのでしょうか。
違います。
傷跡はここです。
顔がこわばっているね。
Why the nurse? I can't imagine this comes as a surprise.
騎士団の内通者から。
アルベドさんはあなたたちのような存在について研
Albedo's done a lot of
究
research
をし
into
ているん
beings
です
like
よ。
you.
慌てることはない。
You
傷
can add
跡を
it
つけるの
now.
は
You excel
今
at
からで
changing
も
your
間に合う。
appearance, don't you?
ドゥリンの生
Or
命
should I
力
say
が
all
発生した
spawn of
時
Durin's life force have that
い
ability?
や驚異的な生命
A
力
powerful life
自
force,
身の姿
an
を意の
appearance
ま
you
まに
can
変える能
change at
力を
will.
持つ存在 Faceless.
Yet here you stand formless, paralyzed to act because you're worried using your power could affect your accomplices.
仲間って
いや、マイ
There
ル
are
ズだ
others
けじゃ
too.
ない。
Most of the beings under the influence of
同
Nerd's
じ
life force
生
have
命
been
力の
gathered
影
here.
響を受けた生物は互いに引き寄せ合う。存在一度変化が始まれば
Once you attempt to transform, all who surround you will be affected by your power. You can't control it.
君自身は
腕を見せなさい。
逃げてください。
あいつら
Who are all these mooks?
逃がしてはならない。必ず
外から申し寄せてきてる。奴の仲
Must
間
be
か。
more people under her control.
行くぞお前ら。
追いかけるぞ。
木は熟した。
総員、これより作戦開始だ。
Third company, keep on the imposter's tail.
やっと君たちと話せるね。
Before I explain the events of the past few days, I'd like to make a few things clear.
僕
I
は
never
人を
killed any
殺
of
して
my
いな
fellow
いし、
citizens. I never used any human remains as parts of an alchemical experiment.
裁判に出席した騎士団のほとんどはこの作戦を知っていた。証人席の中にもリルックのように鋭い人は
Most of the members of our order were in on it.
違和感に気づいていただろう。
And Master Jaluk just picked up on the situation. Miles. What? Slimes!
なんで街の
How are
中
there
に
monsters in the
雪
city?
山から降りてきた魔物
They're
だ。
monsters from Dragonspine. An
そろそ
attack
ろ
is
攻撃が
imminent.
始まるだろう。ルリンの復活に備えて
We've been
ずっと警
monitoring the
戒していたんだ。
resurgence of Durin's life force. Its festering nature agitated the
腐食の
monsters.
力の
We
影
know
響
it's
を
only a
受け
matter of
た
time
魔
before
物
they
たちは
advance on Mondstadt.
どんどん戦いは必ず起こる。
We made preparations for the inevitable
二人
battle.
とも僕と一緒
Something
に
you could
行
do
動し
join
て
me
くれ
in
ないか。
providing assistance for the battle to come.
外壁の上だ。
Top of the city wall. Headquarters should be secure. We're spotted in time, have enough manpower. Even spare for mobile support across the region.
各隊の情報
Monsters
に
from
よると
Dragonspine could be disguised as
雪山から
Mondstadt
来た魔物
citizens.
は
Be sure to exercise
占いによ
caution.
ると魔物ではない。
They're regular people under the influence of the strange power. Not all of them are monsters. Aim to
暴
subdue, not
走しない
harm.
よう見張ってくれ。そのような人を見
Wild. Porthos, Athos.
ちょうど君について話していたところだ。君とパ
お久しぶりです。
It's been a while, traveler.
私
I'm here to
はここ
help.
で戦局の把握にご安心ください。
So Jean and Mona are acting in an advisory capacity. Like, this area seems like a pretty defensible position. Only a couple
想像してたより
situations
も
worse than I
状
anticipated.
況が
Must do my part to
戦い
help.
だけが支援とはか
Healers stationed in the back at the church. Like, most likely passive egress are there and there. I wish they had like a taller barricade around there. Would be more defensible.
Ah, アルベド隊長に栄養騎士。それに白い浮遊生物も。
この辺りの住民はどうも様子がおかしいので、くれぐれもお気をつけを。
ボンボン爆弾。
助かったよ。 ここを抑えられたのは君たちのおかげだ。
みんな無事だといいんですが、ご助力いただき本当にありがとうございます。
Guys, you good? This is where Hertha usually is.
あら、可愛い子ちゃん、よかったわ。これでここも早く片付きそうね。
ルピカ。
あ、お疲れ様。僕たちも手伝うの。
Beto, Lisa, Razor.
しびれなさい。
疑似ようか。
燃やし尽くして。はっ。ふっとや。はっ。
Hey, cutie.
ウィンドブルーム最中に
Been a while since I unleashed my lightning during wind bloom.
ビリビリを
Unleashed lightning on people?
そん
No.
なわけないで。そういえばこの間先生の手紙でも同じことを聞かれたわ。生徒が先生のやり方を真似るのはよくあることでしょ。
Mine was
あ
from
の
a
人
gentle
は
old
その
man in
派の心
Spontamon.
や今回だって優しくビリビリさせ。
優しくビ
リサ。
Gentle electrocution.
ええ、だって
優しくビ
Gentle electrocution. Oh my god! No! Quinn's cart! Sucrose!
アルベド先生。
ここは大丈夫。
はい。
Few monsters made the city, but Luke and Kaya helped me take care of them. Sucrose to Luke and Kaya.
あ、ここにも魔物が。思ったより進行が早い。
ほう、あいつらにも騎兵隊があるのか。
とりあえず片付けよ
う。よし、大体片付いた。次は正門前だな。スクロース、俺はこの金持ちの旦那と悪党を懲らしめてくる。その間くれぐれも用心してくれ。
うん、分かったよ。そのガイアさん、急いだ方がいいかも。置いて引かれちゃってるよ。
Crag, Favonius sword, and Wolf's Greystone. Cool. Head out front.
一体どっから湧いてくるんだ。手がしびれてきた。
ガイア隊長の声です。きっと支援ですよ。もう少し踏ん張りましょう。
超拡散形態。
二人ともご苦労さん。
あとは僕たちに。
ガイア隊長。
いえ、僕は大丈夫です。
スワン、ロレンス、
Swan Lawrence, get
二
treated
人
to
と
the
も。
church.
でもディルックさん。
ああ。だが騎士団じゃ
Why
な
are
い
the
と
knights
この
only
門
capable
を
of
守れな
defending
いなん
this
て
gate?
決まり。
旦那はいつも親切だ。
ありがとうございます。
ちょうど手が空いたので、今の。
でも、
Make some potions, be careful on the front lines, understood.
アルベド先生。
ここは大丈夫そうだ。
はい。先ほどちょうど手が空い。
でも。
はい。
So Kaya and DeLuca are out there? They are.
Yep.
I mean, they have a lot of ice monsters, so if they build an ice bridge, they can cross, but, like,
It's not bad. I wish if there was like taller rocks around the perimeter. If like, hey Albedo, you could create just like a lip around here. It'd be a lot more defensible of a position. We'll take it from here. Throw a couple ballistas up there. I'm just saying. You could make Mondstadt into like a fortress city. Hold firm! The Imanatrike shall not tolerate a transgression. Vassal. Sword at the ready. You got like advanced teleturtles here too. Tell monsters. My Fraulein means to say you should refrain from going out for the time being. I am my Frau Humlein's humble servant. They fully have wrecked up the front area though. That's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more. I mean, Mona's house looks fine. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of the city on fire. You know? Like, show the damage of this attack. Like, say, like, hey, we were prepared for a few monsters, but we were not prepared for an invasion of the city. But I mean, I guess it goes to, like, put a windmill blade on fire or something, you know? Show me the city's in danger. Because do I feel like the city's in danger right now? Help, please, someone help!
君たちだったんだ。
そろそろ始まるはずだ。
はあ。
It's been a while since I dealt with something this big.
ちゃんとお酒はおごるから。
それならアルベド、銀融野郎の正体を知ってるみたいだ。
People can make new friends when you're not here, you know.
先ほどの裁判中、
Monsters surged into Dragonspine during the trial, becoming agitated response to the core coming under pressure.
魔物がこんなに早く
I
進化
never
する
expected the monsters to
進化
become
は
this advanced.
敬意を払うべき現象だと僕は考えている。ましてや
Evolution cannot be underestimated, especially considering the fact that Durin absorbed the previous imposters. So, when Rhindaughter fed the primordial albedo to Durin, it advanced him, and maybe doing the secondary albedo did the
死体を埋
same.
めているところを目撃されたのは事実だよ。
Killing the doppelganger whopper
でも
flower and burying it
それにはもち
advanced
ろん
it,
事情があった。
created doppelganger
僕が
powers.
雪山を観察していると
I did
あ
have
る
those
ことに気づい
bodies.
たんだ。人が
As I
姿を
monitored
消
the
した後
situation on Dragonspine, there's
ま
many
た
who
モンド城に戻ってく
ventured
るこ
there
とに
came back
彼らは
different.
ルリンの力の
Under the
影響を
influence
受
of
けたと
Durin's
思われ
power.
る。深刻な事態にならずに魔物に飲まれたのは
Most of them were replaced,
家族の
had
い
no
ない人
close
たちばかり。
relatives, so when their behavior
その方
changed, no
が
one noticed.
周りに気づかれにくいからだろう。やつ
ディルックの旦那が見つ
What
け
about
た
the
ハ
man's
ト
Dulik
が
found? Monsters
魔物は
digested their
人を
victims.
飲み込けど場合によっては
アルベドが倒したのは
The only
あくまで
bodies
人に
Albedo
擬態
destroyed
した
were
魔物
monsters' mimic
けど
forms. Then he
人の
buried whatever
体の
remained
一
of
部が
those victims.
僕にできるせめてものことだったからね。
I managed to gather some valuable data
そ
on
れ
the
に
putrefaction
旅
of
人
bodies.
以前
After we
雪山
defeated
で
the doppelganger
僕
Whopper
の
flower
姿
on
をしたト
Dragonspine,
リ
we
ックフラワー
promised
を
to
一緒
tell
に
each other
倒
a
した
story,
後
remember?
お互いに物語を作って話した、
I don't
It was so long ago and it wasn't part of the thing. Because I watched a video on it. That was it. I never had to experience it.
1号に取って代わろうと企んだ2
What
号
if I
が
told you subject 2?
トリックフラワー
In
を
his
使っ
pursuit
て
to replace subject
3号
1,
を作っ
he
たという
transferred
話
the
も
Whopper Flower into
覚えている
subject
かな
3. So the Whopper Flower was not the only duplicate, there was another duplicate. There was another imposter on Dragon's Spine that day.
僕は2号
That
の
would be
息の
subject
根を
2. I
止めて
confronted him and
雪
buried his
山に
body
埋め
on
たんだ
Dragon's Spine.
君たちでもここ最近
But Durin
グリ
became
ンの活性化が
revitalized
進
under
み
the
つつある
influence of his power. The monsters
その
dug
影
his
響を受
body
けた
and
魔物た
returned
ち
to
は
Durin's
2号と
stomach.
いう失敗作を吸収したこと
He
で
absorbed the failed
グリ
creation
ン
and
は
with his knowledge
その
and
知
a
識
way
を
of
取り
thinking
入れ
ever
た
since then, all creatures
結果
spawned from his power had the
そ
ability of
こから生ま
transforming
れ
their
たまた
appearance.
最近雪山に
Humans who
長く
ventured to
滞
Dragon
在
for
してい
too
た
long
人
are
たち
bound to
も
fall under Durin's
グリンの
influence.
力の
町の人たちの様子がおかしいのは君たちも
The people who attacked. So, the primordial albedo inside Durin revived, created a Whopper flower that looked like albedo to attack albedo, and eventually plotted to attack while he was weakened. True albedo won, killed primordial albedo, reburied him, reinterred him. The monsters sensed this, dug up his body, brought it to Durin's stomach, and revived him a second time. But now, thanks to that power, that influence, all the monsters have the power to shapeshift. That's wild and bad. I have to use the bathroom. Give me a minute. Bio break. Very quick, I promise. All right.
体に潜むドゥリンの力
Durin's
が
power
上がり
remained
出すと
dormant within them.
その人たち
It
は
surged to the
一時
surface
的
and
に
seized control.
わざとそ
That
う
was
なる
also
よ
our
う
goal.
に仕
Before
向け
the
たんだ
situation where the imposter had no choice
生
but
き
to
る
unleash
か
the
死ぬか
power,
の瀬戸際に立たされた時
all those under influence would become
生
violent
存
and thus would
本能
not.
は無意
We
識
would
に
know who
働
was affected.
だから僕がここにいるんだよ手伝う
ウェンティが風の力
We
で
use the
彼
power of
らを
Animal
抑
to
えてい
restrain
る
them
間
for
に
now.
騎士団が
了解あよし
That should do it. He's actually releasing his power. Cool. Wind currents all over the city.
城内の雰囲気は準備
問題ないこっちは人手がでも
Requesting assistance to the side gate. Heading over down. People, thanks to Lord Barbatos, with this blessing we will succeed in defending our city.
雰囲気の方を向かずに小声で喋れ
If you
ば
face away from the car and whisper like this, no one can hear you.
その言い方あれこの声は
Venti, is that you?
おい、バレちゃったぞ。
ごめんよ。たまたま
Wandering
ここを
bard
通り
calling
か
for
かっ
help.
たら
Thank goodness the traveler Paimon and Albedo
無
found
事で
me.
何よりだよ。
So wait, does Dahlia legit not know about Venti? I thought they were just being tongue in cheek.
ふうここは僕に任せて。
Sucrose. Kaya on the bridge. Where'd Luke go? I don't like being in the middle of this. Oh, there he is. That was a close one. Thanks to another master for Luke.
礼はいらない。君が
なら俺は別のところに行くか。
Let me get out of
こ
your
こに
hair.
いても元素反応です。
そうか。
冗談だ。
最初のサイ
となると
When did you hear this thing was off?
フェルターの
Because of the
フェ
fake
ルターより
birthday?
も
俺に
そうじゃない。
You weren't
だったらデ
nervous
ィルッ
enough.
クは俺がいつ
自分で考えろ。また敵が来るぞ。
考えるのは面倒だ。やっ
Best.
おとなしくしやがる。風邪ひくなよ。
判決を下す。
こいつはどうだ。この瞬間
裁きを受けよ。
He hot? Did he hot my shield?
式のこと敗者には言い訳の余地もない。
おとなしくしやがる。風邪ひくなよ。これお前って
判決を下す。
Cool.
あそこだ。
Over there, Luke! Kaya!
ここに来る余裕があるってこと
You have
は他のエリアは
time
それ
to
ほど
make it
緊
here. I'm
迫し
guessing
て
the other areas are
心
secure.
配して駆けつけたって可能性もあるだろう。
Yeah, this is the closest spot to the city gate.
主要ルートを抑えれば戦闘の主導権を握
Maintaining
った
control
も
over the
同
main
然だ。
road means
君たち
maintaining
の判
control
断
over
は
the
正しい。
battlefield as a whole.
状況はどうなんだ。
ああ
Status
心配無用だ。
My civilian
ここは
volunteered.
騎
I
兵
have the
隊
area
の
covered.
元隊長と現隊長。
I think you mean the man who held the title of cavalry captain
よしてく
before
れ
you.。
じゃあここは頼んだよ。
Good work anyway.
ああ、健闘を祈る。
そうだ。裁判ではありがとう。途中
Thank
か
you
ら
for what you said. If not
僕の
mistaken, you're on my
最
side
初
in
の
the
裁
end.
判の時点でもう違和感を覚えてた。
どちらかといえば、か
It
つて
didn't
僕を
feel
助
right
け
that
てくれ
someone
た
who
人
helped
が
me in the past could be a
一夜
killer.
で冷血な殺人。
僕を信じてくれたこと、そして
くれぐれも気を
We still haven't really used the Dodo communication device or the or dealt with the Varka stuff or the These are all the people that I helped out. They're all okay. Emergency shelter up there. Rosario Barbara? Da 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 da.
大丈夫。
Heal the knights.
はい。これで
Should be on the
ありが
mend.
とうございます。外は危険ですので、
Still
牧師の
chaotic.
皆様は大
Best
聖
if
堂
you
か
remain inside the cathedral.
ねえ、
ご安心く。
それなら
バーバラの言う通り。
それは助かる。
これも仕事のうちよ。気にしないで。バーバラ。
Come on, you
ここ
Ice Queen Assassin.
なんでこんな状況になったかはよくわからないけど、絶対に大丈夫。
バーバラ、今忙しいか？
お
They've
姉ち
been
ゃん、
preparing this, not at all. To do something? I wanted to take over the next few days.
数日後、
Some things are going to happen to Mondstadt
騒がし
attacking
く
and
なるか
fighting,
も
and
し
need
れ
you to take care of yourself.
アルベドの予測だ。
Albeda warned us in
ドラ
advance.
ゴ
It
ン
has
ス
something
パ
to
イ
do
の
with Dragon
関係があ
Spy.
るらしい。
ドラゴンスパイ、モンド城が、
保証はできないが、
But the knights are going to do everything we can to protect the people.
安心してくれ。
バーバラ、ちょっと手を貸してくれる？
So give me a Jean Rosaria Mona fight? Yeah, Noel! Benny! Amber and Mika.
各小隊は注意してください。
数はヒルチャールが25
25 Filotrolls, 2 Blazing Axe Minotaurs, a bunch of different slimes.
了解。
やっ、ウサギ伯爵、出撃。
A prototype crescent on her. I want to see what they consider to be their cannon weapons.
ピュン、頼んだわよ。
去ってください。
ウサギ伯爵。
各小隊、位置につきま
All
した。
units down position.
まだ偽物騒ぎから頭を切り替えられていないん
Still
です
caught up on the
か？
imposter incident? After you up and disappeared, Master Jean told me you'd be gone for a while.
でもその2日後に君は戻ってきた。見た目はまるっきり同じだし。
恐ろしいですね。
だよね。身近な
A
人が
monster
実は
replacing
魔物
someone
の
close
化け
to
今
you.
回の件が片付いたら二度と
アルベドさん、大丈夫でしたか？裁判。
私も
アンバーが知らなかったのなら
You didn't know Amber? It
最後
seems
ま
you
で
did
秘
an
密を
excellent job
守
of
り抜
keeping
い
the
たんだ
situation under wraps.
確かに真剣な時のエウルオイラたちも
だが
ガイアの提案さ。ヘルターさんは
そういえば騎士団の隊員が事故になった
Explains the rumor that
と
someone
い
had
う
fallen
噂を
during a
耳にした
mission.
ことがあり、
それも作戦の一環だっ
The
た。
imposter fell into our trap.
全体の流れはこうだ。情報の発信源は
News came from Kai and Hertha's direct
ガイアと
subordinates.
ヘルターさん直属の部下だ。数日後、偽物のヘルターさんが騎士団の巡回ルートにある。
それって
半年以上前です。
そんなに前から
6 months
今回
ago.
の敵の手口は予想よりもずっと慎重に思えたからね。奴らはヘルターさんの痕跡、偽物のヘルターさんが僕たちの信頼を得たと、それに僕を陥れるための。
でもリュリンは
So Hertha's been in hiding for 6 months?
したんだ。
騎士団の中に
There's an informant in
心
our
配しなくていい。
ranks. Barbatos
バル
already
バトス
tracked
様
her
が
down.
すでに犯人を特定している。
She doesn't have his blessing.
風神の加護を得られ
So
ない
she
スパ
can
イ
hear
に。
what we're talking about right now.
でも本当に
それも想定内だよ。それでもし雪山の生物の擬態の
She
話に
admitted
な
to
れ
knew how I
ば、
knew
どうや
about
ってそ
Dragon
れを
Spy
知
and
っ
the
たの
monsters in
か問い
disguise.
詰められる。つまり反論すれば 僕の正
Are
体
you
がバレ
back?
て
Expose my origins or keep my
反
mouth
論し
shut?
なければ殺人の。
なるほどな。
ありがとう。それからもう一つ、その点についてはどうか謝らせ。こう言うと戸惑うかもしれないけど、
I did make the plan even stronger.
あえて君たち作戦を立てた当初から僕の執務室にある資料を調べてくれる人が必要だと考え、君ならウィンドブルーム祭の期間中にさらに偽物のヘルターさん、
Fake Kirk,
つまり
subject 2,
2号は
has met you on
雪山
Dragon's
で
Fight
君を見た
before.
ことがある。
So she's the Whopper Flower.
君まで動揺す。
その通り。それからあまり名誉騎士とパイモンが
本当か？
礼を言うべき。
なあ、今レウラーの声が聞こえた気がするぞ。側門に行ってみないか？
まさか。そうですか。結構ダリア女性驚かせて女の子を一人。ええ、そうだ。聞くところに前言を撤回しましょう。
ごめんなさい。
もう話
この前
恐怖で。
そういえば。
I was hoping I could switch to English and. Diona special!
一体どうなってる
Those
の？
darn things are annoying, more noisy than boo sounds.
もし助けを必要とする人を見
If you're
つ
with
けたら
anyone who needs a safe place, feel free to send them to the Cat's Tail.
助かるよ。
ついていきます。
Benny's Adventure Team!
道端に倒れてるもんだから
I saw you on the there and I thought you were hurt.
ごめんなさい。
なるほど。よくある戦
Contact.
術だ
Oh,
な。
Traveler, Albina, you're here.
ベネット、彼女をキャッ
Cat's
ツテ
Tail,
ール
they
ま
are
で
no
送
sheltering
ってくれ。
people.
わかった。任せてくれ。
Noel?
アルベド様、栄誉騎士様。
That's such a tease. To make his weapon Cinnabar Spindle. So we can't get it. God, it looks so good on him, too.
戦いに集中して支援する。
任せてください。やっ。
サキュ疑似用か。
燃やし尽くして。
サキュとやっ疑似用か。異形を見届けよ。酒
お二人ともありが。私はどうかお気を。お二人とも
Thanks for the help.
私はこのままここにの。どうかお気をつけ。よっ。
empty. He was over that way.
Yeah.
Where are the Fatui? Why aren't they helping out? Oh, draft file Benny and Diona.
本当にありがとな。気にしないで。パパ、また誰か来たみ
Got
たい。
another group coming.
俺も手伝うよ。
風が立つぞ。
I don't see Ember and Mika anymore. Eula. The Spindrift Knight. I know Klee was fast. Oh no!
アルベドがどうしたんだ？
Klee has escaped!
アルベド。
みんなを支援するために回っているんだ。
なんならもう聞い
Nothing to be afraid of. Klee disappeared.
それなら大丈夫だよ。
Don't be yourself. Klee is.
何か
みんな戦闘準備。
ずっと一緒にいたのに急に走っていなく
She
なっ
was
て
right
しまっ
next to me.
クレイは足が速いからね。でもあの子も騎士の一人だ。あまり心配はいらないよ。
Klee's known for her speed. She's a right. Right you are. Klee's here to help.
ほら、足が速いって言っただろ。
クレイが手伝うの？
そうみたいね。
Those are Klee's bombs.
爆弾ってすごいな。
輝く本番爆弾。
Jumpty Dumpty, go!
クレイ、よくやったね。
Good work, Klee.
アルベド。
クレ
No
イに
problem.
任せて。
Just leave it to
アルベド
Klee.
お兄ちゃんはパトロール中？
Klee heard you were
キャンプに
camping.
行ったって聞
These
いたけ
monsters
ど。
followed you back home.
だから今か
I
ら
need to report back
ジ
to
ン団
Gene
長
to
のとこ
settle
ろに
my
行って
expenses.
キャンプの費用。
それじゃ
I place myself in your capable hands, Spark Knight. Love it.
クレイを頼っ
Klee is one of the best child characters in fiction. I truly believe that.
Yep.
She embodies energy of this little chaotic, this little shit, honestly. She's just a little jerk. Which is so emblematic of kid energy. Or earnest. That earnest energy I put up there with like what was Maze Hughes' daughter's name? Alicia? And his wife is Gracia. Anya Forger. I love little chaotic kid energy. I think they're always very funny, fun and funny characters. I don't see anything else.
あ
とまず落ち着いたな。
How do we fare injury-wise? Preparations paid off.
ならよかった。
みんな大丈夫だったかい？
Is everyone alright?
アンバーは平気？
大丈夫。クレイがエウルアお姉ちゃん
Clee kept Miss Eula safe the whole way.
そうなの？クレイ
他の者は
ただいま戻りました。
Reporting back. Mission complete.
無事でよかった。今回の防衛作戦が成功したのは皆のおかげだ。感謝する。
Cool. Eula, Clee, Hertha, Albedo, Sucrose, the Traveler Paimon, Barbara, Amber, Mika, Kaya, and now new guys we know, Skira and Note.
ジン団長もお疲れ様。
Your leadership made it
こ
possible,
こ数
Jean.
日いろいろと。いや、
My work
僕
isn't
の仕
finished.
事
そうか。
ちょうど旅人とパイモンもいるし。
手の空いた者は騎士団や教
クレイは私と一緒に帰ろ
Wanna
う
come
か。
with us, Clee? I like how Clee and Amber, even though it's a cutscene, are wearing the costumes that I have equipped for
ウ
them.
ェンティ殿、今回は大変な役を任せてしまったな。
No,
大
Clee
変？
wasn't.
あれ、
I don't know.
必死に逃げ回
Is
って
this
た。
me you saw me running?
すまない。
冗談。
Thank you for everything. I knew there were difficult moments on the way. Okay.
風で帽子が何度も
I almost
風
lost
の
my
中
hat to
に。
the wind.
収穫はあったよ。
I was out on the city wall for some
外壁の
time. I
上
heard
で
all sorts of
長い
things.
こ
I
と
saw
耳を
something
傾けて
notable.
た
I
甲斐
picked
があ
up
っ
an
たね。
anxious voice and a
苛立って
child's
いる声。
anger.
物語に出てきた2号の感情を
Doran has
吸
been
収したこと
isolated
で
for centuries, but
ドリン
absorbing
は
subject
孤独であるに
emotions
もかかわらず
allowed him to
この世界の
understand
ことを
truths of the
い
world
くらか
and
理
his
解した。
existence.
例えば
He's no longer his
自
mother's
分は
only child.
また自分が
Her
完
most
璧な
perfect
作品じゃない
creation.
ことも知ったん
It's
だ。
obvious he found that
そ
fact
れを受け
difficult
入れ
to
られなかっ
accept.
た
The
ドリンに
emotions
は
he felt in
と
response
ても
were
生
quite
々しい感
genuine.
情が完全体を消そ
If I eliminate the
母
perfect
の子は
creation,
一
I
人
will
で
be the
十
only
分だ
child mother needs.
というね。
This
ド
mindset
リンの
arose
生
from
存
Duran's
本能と競
instinct
争
to
心から
compete
生ま
and
れたその思
survive.
考は
Because
関
Duran
わ
was
っ
a
た者
child.
たち僕を裁判の場に立
Bring
たせた
back
ことは
Simulanka
ドリン
Duran.
が2号の思考パター
The
ンを模
absorption
倣
of
して取った
subject
中で
knowledge allowed him to take
最
a
も
more
賢い
intelligent
行動と
approach.
言える。だがそもそも
Duran
ドリン
still
は
lacks sufficient
社
social
会への
intelligence.
適
His
応力を
army
持ち合わせていない。
なるほど。考える声や。
今も近くから聞こえるよ。
ファニーヤ、なぜ報告に来なかった？特に報告そうか。さっき
During the battle, we
君
were
が第
talking
7
about the
小隊
transfer to
に
the
転
Seventh
属したことに
Company.
ついて話していた。はい、順調。一つ聞きたいのだが、もしや戦いの最後に風で通達した内容を聞いておらず、
戦闘中急
There
な
were
計
a lot
画
of
変
changes
更
during the
は
operation,
何度
but I
も
imagine
行
you
われた
missed
け
all
ど
those because you're under Duran's
君は
influence.
そ
And
の
you
どれ
have
も
been
聞い
since
て
your
いな
trip
い
to Dragonspine 6 months
私は
ago. Phonia.
動くな。あとは本部に戻ってからゆっくり。
So it's not the primordial albedo, it's Duran itself? That's kind of wild. Duran's ribcage.
「ファニーヤを他の人に任せてきた。
The others are looking after Phonia.
彼女、
ああ、次
As
の
long as
行
the
動
rest of the
がうまく
operation goes
次
well.
の行動？
ここから先は僕個人の計画だよ。
I've consulted Venti about the
三
possibility
種
of
会談を
calling
行える
a
か。さっき
tripartite
ウェンティに聞いてみたん
conference.
だ。
君たちは知らないかもしれないが、その会談は数年前に
ファルカに魔女会と連絡を取りたいから間に
Asking
入
the
ってくれ
lovely
って言
ladies
わ
of
れ
the
た時
Hexen
のこと
Circle
は
for a small
今でも
favor.
覚えているよ。
The chumminess caught me off
しかも
guard.
ファルカは階段
If
で
I hadn't known
魔
any
女たち
different,
の
I
こ
thought he
と
was
をあ
talking about
と
his
少
older
し。
お姉
sisters.
さん？ファルカって思ったより若いやつなの。
若いとは言えないけど年を取っているわけでも。
いろんな場面で空気を読まずにジョークを言い始める年齢だ。
We need a swole jacked guy. Come on, Genshin.
この階段の
Tripartite conference is gathering of 3 parties: Hexen Circle, the Animo Archon, and the joint forces of the Knights and the Church. Got it.
バルバトス様の仲介のもと、
Barbatos was able to facilitate a
魔
meeting
女と
between
正
Varka
式
and the
に面会する
mages.
機会を得た。
That's a cool shot, actually. Is that what Varka kind of looks like over there on the left? Because that's the symbol of the Knights, and I'm guessing it's the symbol of Hexen Circle. That could be Barbaloth?
そして、
Varka has a way with words, so he's able to gain their favor.
モンドが最も
Namely,
助け
that
を
in
必要
Monset's
とする
greatest time
時
of need, the mages would return and lend their aid to our nation.
もう一度お願いするよ。
I need the conference to convene once again.
旅人、ドド通話機を貸してく。
それを
早速始めるよ。
Kinda wish I switched back to English for this. What's that ringing? Is it the wind?
あれ、その声。
That's not the right voice.
なんだバルバトスか
ファルカ？
大団長？
ごめん
Grandmaster?
ごめん。かけ間違
Put
え
the
ちゃ
wrong
った
number. Sorry, Varka.
頭上に武器背中に敵
Considering I'm surrounded on both sides with a group on my tail looking to turn me to mincemeat, yeah, I'd say
そっ
so.
か。
Have fun with that.
みんなによろしく伝えといてくれそうだ
We know Varka's gonna be a big part of Not Cry. Very excited for that.
なんで切っちゃうんだよ。最後まで聞けなかった
Don't tell me he hid it beneath the great tree of Windrise.
そんなところには
Dodoko. Was that it? Was that the only tease for Varka?
アリスさん、こんにちは。
Hey, Miss
ウェン
Alice,
ティ
it's
だよ。
Venti.
バルバトスだよ。もう、
ごめんね、つい。
Just fun.
三種階段を覚えているかい？
You still remember the
実は今日
tripartite
ある友人に
conference,
それ
right?
を開きたいって頼まれてね。
Tripartite?
僕だよ。
Me,
アリスさん。
Antalis.
セピロス騎士団調査招待
Albedo,
会長の
captain
ア
of
ル
the
ベド
Knights
が
Investigation
魔
Team,
女会
requests
と
a
正
formal
式な
meeting with
会
the
談。
Hexen Circle.
これまで
I want
誰
to
も
accomplish
成し得
something unprecedented.
あなたの母。
Something even Reindadir never accomplished.
物事の
In
定義
terms
で
of
言うと
technique,
違う。
no, but in terms of location and material,
どういう
yes.
意味？面白そう。
行くって。
My office?
みんな。
アリスさん。今
I
回は
see you
大き
turned
な
yourself
ド
into a
ドコ
giant
可愛く
Dodoko.
ない？ほら、ドドコ専用の帽子もあるのよ。
I'm assuming it's just like a proxy for Alice. Because obviously, when we finally get Alice, I'm gonna be over the moon.
器用だな。
I'll 6-star Alice.
みんな久しぶりね。
Pleasure to see you all again.
魔
Been a
女
while.
会を代表してあるべきけど、その前に準備が必要かしら？アリスって私
ありがとう。会談を始める前に、その子は僕
Head
の
to my office. He's waiting for you there.
会談を始める前に、その子は
バルバトス様。
You did so much for us, Barbara. Does
そ
anyone
う
thank
かしこ
you?
まらないでよ。
いえ、そういう意味では。バルバ
The
トス
Narcan has their
様
own
には
calculations.
そんな
Who
こと
am I to
ないよ。
question their wisdom? You give me too
普
much
段の
credit.
んびりしてるのは
I admit I'm not the
ま
most
あ今回は
proactive
お疲れ
Archon.
様。
You've
騎
had
士
to
団も
work hard on that.
教会のみんなも
Thanks.
それから
You've
我
had
ら
your own
が
hard
友
work to thank for this result.
栄誉騎士と
Also, the traveler.
アルベド
Venom.
がこれから
少しだが、アルベドはい
Boom! Please room.
そういえばアルベドの執務室ってなんでいつもドアが閉まってるんだろう。うえ
Mini Durin! Again, a character that was only in the event of Simulanka.
急に
Mini Durin is back!
どうしてお前がここにいるんだよ。
さっきの戦いを僕もこっそり手伝っ
I
てたん
tried
だ。
tapping Paimon into the shoulder in the battle, but you
パイモンの
floated away
肩を
too
叩い
fast.
て挨拶しよう。
I've been a monster for a few days now, but I kept myself out of
み
sight.
んなを
安心しろ。チビデュリンはモンドに観光しに来たのか？
There's a ton of fun and games this time of year.
ウィンドブル
I
ーム
did
祭
sneak
には
off
行っ
for
た
the
よ。
festival the
人
festival
が
for a
いた
bit.
から遊べ。でも遊びに来た
Albedo
わ
and
け
I
じ
made
ゃ
a
なく
promise
て
to
ね。
accomplish something great together.
うん。
I'm gonna replace the Durin on
雪山にいるド
Dragonspine.
リンに代わって
I'm gonna be the one who is
この世
revived
界
and
の
brought into
存
this
在と
world.
して生まれ変わ
Again,
り
I
たいん
hate
だ。
this so much, but I'm so excited because I love Mini Durin. I love this. This stuff should not be taking place in flagship events. Genshin. This is why you have problems with lore leading into Not Cry. Because you do stuff like this. That's... Now, Shadow amidst the snow. Cried Prince, the Chalk Prince and the Dragon. And Simulanka. That's 3 events worth of content. Some of it was 5 years ago. Right? Some of it was tail end of 2020, early 2021. That's ridiculous.
なるほど。でも
Didn't that already happen? You left the storybook in this world and now you're here.
アルベドが
Albedo said he could use alchemy to turn me into a
僕を人間
human.
にする
No, don't do that! Albedo's human transmutation, so you're the intended subject.
アルベドはそのために
チビデュリンは
どうかな。正直なとこ
I want a
何が
playable
正
Mini
しく
Durin
て
though.
どうすべきなのか
Or I
は
want a Mini Durin that we can
僕
keep in
も
our
よく分かっ
teapot.
てなくて。
I don't know if I want this.
でも
I mean, I guess if he's human and he's like a small figure, we might be able to play
自分
him.
に負けたくない。
Becoming human isn't as simple as changing form.
アルベドから聞
He
いた
said the
よ。
Durin on Dragonspine is a
あ
lot
と
more aggressive
雪
and
山の
primitive,
ドリン
like
は
a
けど
beast.
僕
But
は
Mom
お
created
母
me in
さ
a
んが書い
storybook.
た物語
The
に
pure
登場
parts
す
of
る
me
竜
can
で
balance out the evil parts of him.
実はね、雪山のド
I
リ
can
ン
still
と
be me
融
once
合
I
して
become
それ
one
から
with him.
もしかして
A complete
今の
soul.
僕の魂は不完全なのかなって考えもし何も変わらないでいるより僕はもっといいんだ
dragon in
か
human
ら
form?
心配しだ道だ。
お前を人間にするのって
Turning
き
you
っと
into a
簡単
human
じゃな
sounds
い
like
よ
a
な。
huge project.
通りだ。
アルベドには感謝して
So
る
hold
よ。
on. They gave us a little synopsis of Snow Amidst the Shadows.
僕たちは一体
They
どう
didn't
いう
give us one for
関係なのかは
Simulanka?
今もよく分かってないんだ。アルベドは白亜の申
He's
し
the
子
Cried
で
Prince, a synthetic
こ
human.
ういう命のあり方をして
Two
い
of
る
a
のは
kind.
この
Alchemical
世界で
creations
この
living
世
in
界
human
の
form.
生物を
そうかもな。そうだ。そういえばカサッチはこのことを知ってるのか？
Yeah, does the Wanderer know?
モンドに戻って責任を果
He
たす
didn't try to
って
stop
伝
me. He
え
told me to
た。
get a
多
move
分
on.
応援してくれてるんだと思う。ちょっと怖いけど楽しい。このタイミングで君ちょっと緊張するけど心配しないで。
They better make him like the kid who was the vessel of Xbalanque, who I want to be a playable character in a future patch. Because we still don't have any small male type bodies. Right?
爆弾持ちすぎたのかな。あれ？ど
Genshin Xbalanque. So we had this kid. Again, really, I know a lot of people wanted to see the true Xbalanque. Masao, that was his name. I hope Masao becomes playable. And is the first of that body type. I'm really bummed we never got to see the true Xbalanque. I think that is horrible, and a lot of people were really disappointed with it, and I get it.
見たことない模様だから見てみる？あれ？どこ？
He left Masao's body. There you go, Masao. Right? I hope he comes back as a playable character. Right? Make him a pyro. And then if we're getting someone like of that size, give us a playable mini Durin. We have dragons. We have Nouvellette as a dragon. I'm just saying, could be cool.
ちょっと心配しないで。
Head to the Imaginarium. Part of me wants to bring Klee because I think there'll be some special dialogue. Right? How did the camera get stuck under here? That was so weird. There you go. Welcome one and all. Please sit wherever you would like. No unspoken rules to be aware of. I don't want to really park myself down on some important lady's chair. I highly doubt anyone's gonna mind where you sit, Lord Barbatos. Thank you for being so considerate. Jean didn't fancy tagging along. A lot happened. If she left, there'd be no one around to lead the nights. Albedo, what is this outrageous, audacious plan? I intend to kill the dragon Durin.
魔女界には
I want to
ある錬
request
金術の
alchemical
材料を
reagents.
人弱界にいる
Flesh of the immortal monster from the Marajavari? The Phoenix?
母レインドットが残した
A portion of the embryo left by my mother Rheindadir.
彼女が昔魔
The
獣を
raw
作った
material
時
from
に
which she
使った材
created
料
her
だから
monsters,
あんまり
including
残ってな
the
いんだ
Rift
けど
Wolves. Not much left.
竜の血
Dragon
肉
blood,
片
monster
胚
flesh,
子
and embryo.
これが欲しいってことは生命
The flesh of the immortal monster of the Marajavari.
マリュー・ドゥリンが死んだ後その心
Durin's
臓は
heart has
未
continued
だ
to
に
beat
動き
since
続
the
け
day
て
he
いる
died. That means
数百
it's
年
just a matter of
数
time
千
before
年
he returns.
時間さえあれば
Centuries or millennia, but the day
長
will
年
come.
雪山を観察してきた
It's
僕
been
は
years, so I'm well aware of the
まだ
danger he
蘇ってい
possesses.
ないにもかかわらずモンドは今回のような
He
未曾有
already
の危
posed
機
the
に陥っ
consent, less than half of his original strength, though telling how dire the consequences could
も
be if
し
he ever
ド
regained
リ
full
ンの
life
血と
force.
無限の生命力がも
Hence,
た
we
ら
want
す
to free the
災いを断つには
dangers posed by his
その
blood and
命を
limitless
終
vitality.
わらせだがあの
Durin is
竜
a
が
special
消滅することはないし
Even after death, he could reawaken at any moment.
ドゥリンの
So
脅
the
威をな
solution
く
is
す
to
に
kill
は
him and resurrect him in a
その
different
元
form.
の姿でもなければ
Upon resurrection, he will no
完全な化け物でもない。
longer be the creature he once was.
より
In
人間
fact, he will
に
no
近い
longer be a
存在に
monster
し
at
たい
all
んだ
because I intend to transform him into a
夏
human-like
に
being.
クレイと一緒にシムランカという童話の世界に行ったことをアリスさんも覚えているだろう
During the summer, Klee and I
あそこ
visited
は
a fairy tale world called
魔女の領
Simulanka,
域だった
created by the mages of the Hexen Circle.
も
Of
ちろん
course.
あそこ
It
に
was home to one
は
of
エルのもう
M's
一人の
children,
子
the
供が
other... I see.
あそういうこと
あの旅で僕は
It was
ある
during
こと
that
を知っ
journey that
た
I learned with certainty that Durin would return
ド
to
ゥリ
life
そ
one
れと
day.
同時に僕は
That
着
experience
想を得た
inspired me. I met the
エム
pure
によって
soul
作ら
M
れ
had
た
created.
純粋な魂
Knew
で
if I
あれば
wanted to change
ド
Durin's
リン
fate,
の
he could
運
be
命
the
を
key.
変えられる
M was the witch of the Hexen Circle who wrote
僕
the
の計
Poor
画を
Princess,
実現す
correct?
るそれから
I devised an
僕は
alchemical model for
ある
transmutation.
錬
The
金術
soul
の
will
構想を
come
練った
from the fairy tale dragon of Simulanka,
シムラン
the
カの
blood
童話
from
に
the
登
original
場する
dragon's heart.
心臓そして
And the
人
monster
弱界の
remnants from
魔
the
獣の肉
Marajavari
片
and the embryo mother
母
left
が
behind
残し
will
た
form
胚
the
子を
flesh.
体にするんだ竜の毒による
The
腐敗の
corrosive
力
nature
は
of dragon venom
魔
and
獣の
the
肉
heightened
片の
vitality of the
異様
monster
な活
remnants
性
will
力によっ
offset
て
each
打ち消
other,
される作られた体は
keeping the
均衡の
constructed
取れた
body in
状態
perfect
腐敗の
balance.
力と生
The
命
side
力が
effects
ぶ
can
つ
be
かり合う
triggered
こと
when
で
festering forces of
強
life
力
energy
な
collide.
副反応が生まれるだろうそれを
その少し
It
狂気
glints
じ
in
み
your
た
eye.
表
You
情
really are your mother's
アリ
child.
スさんはこれを
To me,
た
you're
だ
extraordinary
二人とも
individuals.
バルバトスに頼んだのも
I
納
see why you
得
asked Venti for help.
あ
Materials you
なた
seek
が
are
必要とする
extremely
材料
valuable.
はとても貴
We
重だ
know Marajavari is the
少しで
land
も
without
扱い
wind.
誤れば
So again,
大
I
惨
think 事にな Venti's
り
gonna
か
be
ね
tied
ない
with that
材料
somehow.
を手に入れたいなら魔女界あなたには力がある
Pass the Hexen Circle's trial. That's gonna be the
こうな
the
ると予
fight.
想していたからここに旅人も呼んだんだ
I'm joining in. You're not even gonna try and talk me into it?
僕が道を踏み
Who
外
knows
さ
what
ない
sort
よ
of
う
outlandish thing I might
責任を持
attempt
って
if without someone to
試
keep me
練
in
に
check.
付き合ってくれるものだと
これは
Fine.
魔女たちの慣例でもあるの
アリスさんは賑やかなの
And
が好
Dallas
きで
loves the spectacle.
友人同
Any
士が
chance to
助
when
け
his
合い
friends come
あ
together.
なたが試練を乗り越えて成長するとこ
I
ろ
still...
を親友が見届けてくれたらとっても素
We
敵です
still don't know Alice's deal. We know Alice and Klee are from a long-lived race. And she's the one who assembled the Hexen Circle centuries ago. Has close relations with Rheindadir, one of the sinners who destroyed Conria, and created the Rift Wolves, and Albedo and Durin. We, Barbaloth, the, master of Mona, Nicole the prophet, who prophesied the destruction of Fontaine. Right? I'm trying to remember. So it was founded by Alice, who conducts Irminsul explorations and gathers formal tea parties on the secret island in the sky off the Falcon Coast, which was made by Venti, which is why they like Venti. They rival the gods of Tevat, Reindatir, the art of Chemia. Alice has the power to mold islands on command. Nicole is aware of changes made to Irminsul, like a prophetess. Barbaloth is the astrologist who pioneered the study of divination. Some members are human, like Anders Dottir and Ivanova N. Anders' daughter was M, the writer of the Boar Princess, whose story also created Minidorian because she felt so bad for Minidorian she wanted to rewrite his story. And it ties in with the cyclical nature of the world, almost like a samsara. And Ivanova, I'm trying to remember which one was Ivanova, the first mayor of Snezhnaya, known as Jay. And we met her apprentice, or her most recent successor, Scarlet, in one of the previous Windblooms, who is now a member of the Hexen Circle, with the title Jay. Paimon will have to sit this one out. The Hexen Circle trials are no walk in the park. No more, no less. That's interesting. I think this is a tease that Paimon is more powerful than she thinks, and she knows. The idea that Paimon is one of the is the last of the Moon Sisters is becoming greater and greater with every day. The blessing of the Welkin Moon, the symbols on Paimon's back, the fact that moon energy was pre-elemental energy, and Paimon has the omni-elemental symbol on her. The fact that on her back are 3 circles, the 3 moons, that the Moon Sister was always seen among the stars, same with the goddess of the Welkin Moon, and Paimon is always surrounded by stars and star imagery. Particularly, every official image has Paimon among 7 stars, which was a symbol of the Welkin goddess. And the fact that the moon was the companion of the oh god, I'm trying to remember what other theories there were. But being the companion to the Lightbringer, the fallen angel. Let me take us. We go to this trial with me. Of course. Just about. Get ready for a taste of the Dodo King's magic. So, in keeping with the Hexen Circle's modalities, we've been shrunken down to chest piece size. Paimon's voice is louder than usual. Since your mother has to recuse herself, who better than I? You still haven't gotten a voice for Reindadir, I don't believe. Chess game, King's Piece.
今こそ誕生の時。
Here we go, queen piece. Oh God!
さあ働きなさい。はじけだ。
今こそ誕生の時。
賑やかな方がいいでしょ。スイチームめよ、契約を果たせ。
偉業を見届けよ。
Phase 2. See what Phase 2 is like. Cool. And we got a cutscene.
なんでおもちゃの姿を借り
It
なきゃ
had to
な
be
らない
this
ん
form?
だ
A toy doesn't really suit me.
アリスさんじゃないみたい。
That one doesn't seem like
よ
Alice.
くやったね。でもまだだ
This
よ。
isn't over.
ここからはわしが相手だ。万物を直視すれば断りが
Sounds like an old woman, so I'm guessing it's Barbeloff.
逆に見れば真実が見えてくる。
Cool.
大丈夫かい？
Awesome. We're no longer on the chessboard. I wonder if there's... I have a thought of something. I'm thinking about chess imagery. We've seen chess imagery used before. In particular, awesome design. Awesome design. With the Fatui, though. And Perot, the leader of the Harbingers in the Winter Night Palazzo, moving the Gnosis, which are basically chess pieces. In this world, checkmate is not the end of the game, right? In the spirit of Rindon, I prepare to... The pawns earned their freedom. Barbeloff tribe Trismegistus. Auntie Barbie. Okay, I did Frozen. Ah, the king is weak. Let's take out the king first.
今こそ誕生の時。創世の術。
Live.
冥王牽制。
She like, oh, she like stretched out her arm? She's giving her own health? That's pretty cool.
さあ働きなさい。
偉業を見届けよ。
Queen is dead. Now will you sacrifice to save her?
Oh no, he's got to do a rage. Maybe there's only like one revival per. Please! The Walpurgis game. Walpurgis is like a meeting of monsters. Very well done. Right, it's Walpurgis Nacht. Walpurgis, a meeting of spirits and nightmares in the Walpurgis myth. Which, oh yeah, it's a meeting of witches. I first heard of Walpurgis Nacht from awesome anime, very underrated. People look at it, look like the cutesy art style and dismiss it. Madoka Magica. One of the best animes of all time, hands down. But people see it and they're like, oh, it's like a Sailor Moon ripoff or like a Tokyo Mew Mew weirdo. It's so friggin' dark and so friggin' good. Yes, it's a meeting of witches. Walpurgis Nacht was the March of the Witches. They've grown up the best. I'm so proud of it. You should feel the need to gloat profusely to that student of mine, so she knows to up her game. Up and leave, Barbie? You'll have to forgive Barbara. She's always on the move. She never says where she's going either. She enjoys the mystique. And because she's going for a walk. Come back. Nope. I need to turn you back to normal first. Nice to have you back safe and sound. Once you've rested up, let me know when you're free. We'll hit the Dragon Spine. The sooner we deal with Durin, the better. Wolfie? No, Wolfie's not here. These two are back. The powers be suddenly dispatch more hands to a place like Not Cry. For thematic sake. Is that his Japanese voice? Ooh. I'm fine with Harbinger of Dawn. I think it looks good on him. But I would really prefer Cinnabar Spindle. Alright, here we go.
Place is as freezing as ever.
相変わらず寒いな。手が凍っちゃいそうだよ。
僕のフードの中に入るかい？
いいのか？温まれるかな？
いくらか和らぐはずだ。
Might take the edge off it and
よ
improve
り
your
温ま
move.
りたいなら熱源を探すといい。
So, I've been having a thought. Based on that trial, chess. The Gnosis look like chess pieces. The Gnosis are the bodies of the third descender. On this board, checkmate does not mean the end, or death is not the end. And it was Poirot, the original Harbinger, and the director of the Fatui, moving chess pieces on the board that represented the Harbingers and the Archons. But now, the Hexenzirkel are also using chess imagery and refer to the other side of the board, and it's a game board, and the other side of the world. Like maybe the Hexenzirkel are going to go up against the Fatui. I was going to grab that dragon tooth. All right, here we go, baby. We've arrived. Sorry, Paimon, I have to get to work. Still beating.
作業している間、周囲を警戒して。
You two stay on guard.
なんだい？
アルベドにとって
Who is Durin
ハ
to
リ
you?
ウドリンは同族なのか？
Do you think of him as one of your kind?
人間？
Is he a dragon? A person? Animal? Or monster?
錬金術の観点から言えば、
From an alchemical perspective, we're both artificial beings.
生
Not
物学の観
biologically
点から言え
speaking,
ば
we have no relation.
僕たちの間には何の
So to
共
say
通
we're
点も
kin
ない
would
し、
be incorrect.
アルベド。
好き嫌いではなく、
It's not a matter
僕は
of
僕を
preference.
人
Rather,
間の
as
意志
things
だと思っている。
stand, I would say belong to the class of
命には
humans,
様々な
albeit
形があ
a
り、
unique
それ
creation.
ぞれ特別なところ。僕はその中で最
I
も
am
特殊
perhaps
で
the
稀な
most
存在
unique
だ。
among humans.
でも僕の
I
錬
am
金
also
術
the
が成功す
only
れ
one
ば
of my kind, so
僕
there
の
will be
盗
another.
賊がチビドゥリンから聞いたかもし
I
れない
believe
け
Mini
ど、
Durin told you of
あ
his
の子は
intent to replace the
マ
Durin
リ
of
ュー・ドゥリンに
Dragon's
取って代わろうとしている。確かに興味深くて
It's a
挑
fascinating
戦的なこと
prospect,
でもあるから、
not to mention an
その気持
extremely
ちはわかる。
challenging one. Do you see this? Not right now. Do you see this as an act of
今回
creation?
の計画は広い意味で
Understood
過
in the
去と
broader
未来に
sense,
関わるもので、
this
多くの
project
人にとっ
deals
て
with
重要
both
だ。
the past and the future.
計画を、そしてチ
Helping
ビドゥ
Mini
リン
Durin
が
become
望む
who he
姿
wants
に
to
な
be
る
is
の
a
は、
secondary
その
consideration.
次に
It's still a meaningful one.
この2つのこと以
By
外、
contrast, my personal motivations are nothing so
僕
grand
の
and
個人
meaningful.
的な動機は
Just
大したこ
pursuing
と
something
じ
I
ゃ、
believe
強いて
in.
言えば
In my
僕に
view,
とっ
to
て
cultivate life
ありえない
worlds
命を
cannot
育む
generate
ことは、この世界自体を
endogenously.
育むことでもあるんだ。
is to cultivate
よ
the
り
world
完璧な
itself.
形で命を誕生
Whatever
させる。
aids the
そ
life
れ
in
は
attending a greater,
世界
attaining a greater level
を
of
より
perfection.
なすべきかどうかではなく、
It's not a question of whether this
そう
ought
し
to
た
be
いかどう
done,
かだ。
merely whether I wish to.
錬金術師の目的はもちろん今回のことを実験だとは思っていないよ。
I approach first and foremost as a member
こ
of the
の
Knights
答え
of
で
Favorius.
満足できたかい？
It's very esoteric and very dense, but kind of. Oh, the glow is
完
gone.
了だ。
金色の力が
A golden energy has encased the
ドゥリン
dragon's
の心
heart.
臓は大きいし、
The whole heart would be too
その
big.
全てが必要
Instead,
な
I've
わけじゃ
removed
な
the
い。
core.
コアの
The
部分
rest
だ
will
けを
lose
介
its
し、今
vitality
回
completely.
ドゥリンの肉体はよ、
そういえば街にいる偽物のヘルターはどう
What's gonna
なっ
happen
た
to
ん
the
だ？
fake Earth then? The people who fell
手
under
段が見
Durin's
張っているよ。
influence.
新たな
As
ドゥ
far
リ
as
ン
I'm
を
concerned,
創造す
eliminating
ることは、
Durin's influence,
彼らの受け
creating
た
a new
影響を
Durin are one of the
とこれ
same.
で錬
I'll
星
be able
人
to
は完
complete
成
the
する。
alchemical array. Deal with all the issues in one goal. I gotta check. A massive rock that once looked like a heart has lost its power and descended into solemn silence. Oh, I won't be able to absorb any vitality like this. go report back to Orban. Right? Because I would get the strange teeth and stick them in there, and they'd become materials used to make that special spine, or that special weapon. Is one of these people Orban? Stevens? Iris? Joel and Joseph? Hey, Orban. So he can still extract the power. And that's 4 powered dragon teeth. They still have the ability. Because I think I had Rosaria? Yeah. With a weapon made of the Fang of Durin. I don't want it to be stormy. Let's wait a day. Give it a day. Better. Pretty good. Let's call it a day. Thank you for accompanying me. Mondstadt's a lively place during wind bloom. Take a look around. Get some souvenirs. I think Albedo should be the star. What's up, Tim? Kid, you're so depressing.
Hey! Say!
The very final quest of Genshin. Give us Timmy's dad. Did you two make up? Two. They're back to normal. Looks like everyone's back to normal. So this,
皆も知っての通り、
as you all know, during
今
this year's
年のウィンドブルーム
festival,
祭
the
は
people
困
of
難に
Mondstadt
満ちて
have
いた
banded
が、
together to
我
defeat
々は
waves of monsters
一
that
丸と
tried
な
to
ること
invade
で
our city.
今年度のウィンドブルーム祭のス
Accordingly,
タ
we'd
ーは
like to award the
まさ
title
に
of Windbloom Star
こたびの
to
騒動
someone who
で
made
多大な貢献
outstanding
をしてくれた人
contributions in
物彼は
defense.
屈強とは言えない
They
見
may
た目
not
だ
look
が
like a strong warrior,
戦いの
keen
流
insights
れ
play
を
a
読む
vital
ことと
role.
人々の心をなだめることに長けている。では今年のウィ
This
ンドブ
year's
ルーム祭
Windbloom
のスター
Star is Venti the Bard!
何を言う。
You're the perfect person.
わかった。
ああ、ウィンドブルーム祭のスターからのお願いを断る人など
それじゃあさあ最高の
The
銀融
best
詩
part in
人の
land
シ
has
ョ
been to
ー
give
が
us
始まる。
performance. Don't go away. Gather round. Cutscene? Cutscene. Yeah. Albedo. Are we gonna see the creation of
ここに構築の祈りを捧げる。
Prayer of Formation? Mini Durin! Ubiquitous earth, flowing under. The glow of Kemia is covering Mondstadt. These two, Timaeus and Sucrose, understand. Traverse the 18th worldly and 20th passage. Dahlia, Rosaria, Lorna, Fish. Emergent soul, enter the mortal realm. Elevate festering flesh into sacred blood. Sages, this is an awesome scene. Just don't make him a boring, nondescript NPC! How was it? Not bad, right? That's a unique character skin! Come on! And they didn't make the model because he's not available yet. But... Okay. Okay. Playable Durin. A flying character with wings? That could be really cool! Very smoothly, we achieved our goal. Mini Durin looks human now? However, his new form body is stabilizing. Give him some time. I get it. We got to see him in a cutscene. They haven't made a fully rendered model for him yet. I'm okay with this. Because it means the odds that we're going to get a playable Durin is incredibly high. And he looks like he still had horns and wings. How does it feel? I think even she would have made a rare facial expression had she seen it. Ryan Dottier? R? My master and mother Gold Ryan Dottier. She sent me to Mondstadt with the instructions to complete a task of importance. Find the truth of the world. I have a theory. Get a life.
大半の人からすると自分を知り世界を知る
Life is the space that exists between me and the world.
だから
For an
ホムン
artificial
クル
human,
スが
finding a life is the
生活を
equivalent
見
of
つけ
finding
ら
the
れた
truth.
時それ
なるほど。だから雪山の魔物たちが
ただ生きるだけではなく
Being alive is
生
just
活を理解
existing,
した
but
時に
having a life is what makes
本
you
物の
human.
人間になれるでも
I don't
今回
disagree.
の件で
I do an awful lot of
人間
existing.
人間になるのは
Becoming human's only the beginning.
人間としてどう決断
What
して
follows is the choice that humans,
人間の家族と
what kind of family bonds
多
they
くの
will
人
form.
からするとこの数日に起きたことは
For me, it's just
た
part
だ
of
の
my
恐ろ
family.
しいこれから僕の兄
It's
弟
all
は
the crazy stuff. My
前
mom,
の
my
ように
brothers,
自由に生きることはでき
the
ないだろう
primordial Beto,
彼
Durin,
も僕と同
Mini
じように
Durin,
この世界を歩み人間という枷と共に生きていく
変わった家庭だな。
まあそもそも
we get it from our
母が
mother.
特殊だからね
That was wild.
この世界には
Hey, Trinity!
様々な家庭がある小さな店に根を張る人もいれば
We just saw some crazy stuff go down in Genshin. All kinds of families.
僕たちは多分庭園に根を張っているんだろうあ師匠は顔を出さなかったけど
Master never showed her
アリス
face.
さん以外の魔女界の人が知っていたということは
But if the Hexen
彼
Circle
女も
knows what I've done, that
僕の
means
したことを
she knows as well
黙認
and
してくれ
gave
た
her
ってことだろ
approval.
うどうやらナベリウスを飲み込んだ後母はようやく
Since devouring Nibirius, we only knew little bits of this from the lore. Nibirius in Genshin was a god, right? That was, Nibirius was one of the four shades. The ruler of life. After the cataclysm, Nibirius' heart was discovered by Albedo and Reindatir in the heart of a dungeon. Reindatir disappeared with the heart, telling Albedo to discover the truth of the world. And the heart was devoured by Reindatir and fused with her. That's wild. Reindatir ate one of the four primordial shade gods.
もしそうだとしたら
I'm truly for having her. She did have a
僕は
penchant for
心から嬉
madness.
しく
ナベリウスを飲み込んだ。
生の失勢だよこの間アリスさんが教えてくれたんだ
What? So we knew Nibirius was a god.
僕はそれほど
We knew
驚
that
き
she
を感じてい
absorbed
な
the
い
heart of a god. But
師
he's a
匠は
primordial shade.
遅かれ早かれそうしていただろうからね
Which means that's the third one we have named? Right? So we now have Renova, the shade of death, Nibirius, the shade of life, and Istaroth, the shade of time. And then there's one more. Oh. Don't know what they ruled. Life, death, time, space, maybe? Like existence, like form? Could make sense. I'll take the shade under the umbrella and tree on a hot day.
それにナベリウ
That's
ス
the
は
title.
完全に消
Nibirius
え
is
たわ
not
けではな
gone.
く
Instead, because of Master's actions,
彼女と融合
she
し
and
ただけに
Nibirius
す
are
る
now one.
僕が今回の協力に感謝する
Ugh.
苦境の中でも
So Nibirius is not. So there is still the shade of life existing within Reindadir. That's nuts. That's, and we know Renova is still around because Renova showed up during the captain fight. Or during the Capitano. So we still have no clue what happened to Istaroth, the god of time. I find it less and less likely that Paimon is the goddess of time, and more likely that Paimon is the goddess of the Welkin Moon.
そう言ってもらえて、後で陣団長に
騎士団本部に行くのか？
You're heading back to headquarters. Good luck. So you think that's what it is? It's the shade of death, the shade of life, the shade of time, the shade of like a nice umbrella on the beach. You're just chilling.
びっくりだぞ。あ、そうだ。ウィンドブルーム祭のスターが決まったけど、今年
パイモンは何だと思う？
Want to take a guess?
金曜やろう。や
I couldn't keep my dear friends in the dark at this year's Windbloom.
今年
What
は
do you
セシ
think
リアの
of
花さ。
the Cecilia?
どうかな？遊興者の真心。
True feelings of the
情
prodigal
緒あふれ
son.
るこの言葉
The
は
sentiment is
まる
sweet
で
and
この
warm
季
as the
節の
gentle
風の
spring
旅人。
breeze.
手を出して。君とアルベドが魔女会
The
の試練に
mages are
無事
pleased
合
that you
格
and
して
Albedo passed their
魔女たち
trial.
は大喜びだった
Albedo
よ。
received the materials he sought.
アルベドは欲し
You
いもの
deserve
を手に
something
入
as
れたがこ
well.
れは魔女からのプレゼントだ。中には無二の秘密が隠されている。
It contains something one of a kind, a secret.
その時が来
When
る
the
ま
time
で
is right, it will reveal itself to you.
なんだか不思議な感じだな。
君ほどふさわしい人はいないって送り手が
According
言
to
って
the
いたよ。
sender,
安心して
yeah,
受け
cheers,
取
thank
って
you for
くれ。
stopping by, but I still appreciate you stopping by. You're the only person who could make a use of this.
どういたしまして。ま、僕はた。
おお、今回は
How
大
about we
活躍
treat
だ
you
った
to
も
a
んな。
drink?
本当に？
もちろんだぞ。後で酒場に。
やったー。嬉しくて今にも空を飛んじゃい
It's
そう
like
だ。
this festival was made for me. I mean,
素晴らしいね。
it wasn't expressly made for Barbatos, right? Because Windbloom was the code word used among the resistance of the Mondstadt peasants during the rebellion against the aristocracy. Like the Lawrence clan. And the spirit that led them... oh god, what was his name? The god of storms. Decoravian. And the spirit who led them was Barbatos, the wind spirit, that eventually took the form of Venti, the bard. When no love
賛美
remains
さ
for
れる
souls
愛
to
は
tell.
消え、警告に残るは災いのみ。かくも過酷な運命を
Cruel is
誰
their
が
fate,
受け入れら
cruel
れ
it
よ
may
う。
be. We're enough
救
right
いの
here who
勇
could
士
set
は
us all
風に
free.
漂う香りを捉えるがごとく、
Through
心
shadows
の
so
奥底を
cold, he
見
sought
通す
wisdom
者が
untold,
いずれ
chasing a
訪れる。
fragrance the wind only
さすれ
knows.
ば不滅の
Thus
悲嘆は
wistfulness
拭われ、
waned and faded to night.
しじまの輝きへ
He
と
stepped from the darkness
歩ん
and
でい
into
け
the
るだ
light.
ろう。
Paralogism. Alright, so... Playable Durin? I'm cool with it. Within the context of the lore, there are still a number of characters that I would like to play. I think playable Varka is a hands-down obvious thing we need. Right? I think playable Durin is a no-brainer. I'm in that camp that believes Capitano should come back and be playable. I am 100% on board with that idea. So what did I get? They gave me something that would be of use. Dazzling mysterious gift. A glittering crystal-shaped crystal ball
adorned with star-shaped gemstones, bestowed as a reward for passing the Hexenzirkel's trial. According to the one who presented it, it is not something that an ordinary person can master. For now, the crystal ball lies dormant, as though it were waiting for the perfect time to shine. So, let me just say it. I loved the quest. But I'm really annoyed and not happy with this. Are those two going to be a weekly boss? I thought they were going to be the new weekly boss. Do I have any more? I don't have any more. All right. I do want to get that one. I think that looks great. So the big question is, can we still explore Albedo's office? Gene? Can't believe we're getting Mini Durin. That was really cool. That was a very beautiful cutscene. Did I cut a tree by accident? Whatever. Windbloom is done. And see, like, if people have never done a Windbloom event, they're gonna be like, what's a Windbloom Star? What is the Windbloom Festival? Have we been there before? I just want to team a Pat Guy and Mini Durin. Alright, well... I think that's gonna be it for Genshin for now. Our next big event is gonna involve Aoife. And Auroron, Kinnich, and Wriothesley. Which is the Whirling Waltz event. I also still have to do a bunch of these shenanigans.
疑似ようか。
Well, I'm gonna take a second to use the restroom, do a quick bio break, and then I think we're gonna end Genshin here. But that does not mean we're going to end the stream. I think we are going to continue streaming today and play maybe a little bit of Clair Obscure. And I think tomorrow I was gonna finish Lost Records and do Clair Obscure. I think that's my plan. Alright. Alright. Gonna take a quick break, like I said. Thank you for stopping by. This is just me ending this recording. Thanks for stopping by. Till next time, stay awesome. I'll be back on Wednesday with the big Genshin event, so I'll hope to see you then. Yeah. Peace.